Hello. Here we go. We're back. We'll see how far we make it. um yeah, that's all I can say for now. Um I grabbed the wooden sword in the living room. Saber and Tosaka seem to be waiting for me to make a move. Um I don't even know what this means. Technically they're both heading out. Um I don't know. I'll leave Caster to Saber and protect the two here. I mean, they don't need protection necessarily, but okay. Well, no, I guess they do. Wait, how does that work? I thought Rin is oh no, we'll see. I was gonna say like she's a really good maid supposedly, but I thought she can fight without the gems because she can control all the elements. Guess we're about to find out maybe. Saber can take care of Caster. There's no servant left that Saber can't defeat, and Saber should be good against Caster. Her strong magic resistance should make her a good choice against Caster, who is a mage. Saber, can you go?
はい。キャスターならば、私一人で行くべきでしょう。シローの判断は正しい。
Okay, we'll try to hold down the fort. You just need to focus on defeating Caster. I was just trying to think like, so otherwise we would have went out together and fought together, and then maybe Caster would have like shot me or something. That was weird. A strange sound reaches me just as I finish speaking. Is it the sound of Saber tearing through Caster's familiars now that she's jumped out into the hall?
まだ増える。20、30、40。ちょっと、いくら雑魚だって言ってもこれじゃ。問題ないわ。龍河兵なんて模造品で、竜の化身であるセイバーを倒せるはずがないもの。こんなの何百体いようと、セイバーの敵じゃないわ。
This is common knowledge that she's the incarnation of a dragon? Okay, whatever. The sounds retreat into the distance. The horde I felt surrounding the house is gone. I assume Saber defeated them all. Like Ilya said, Caster's familiars can't stop Saber. They must not have made it in here because they couldn't get past Saber. Okay, something weird's going on here. Something's going on here. Because, I thought that he was going to go out and actually fight the skeletons. And Saber would go fight Caster. But instead it's saying... Like, when it said stay here, that Shiro would stay here, I thought he meant he'd stay here out, you know, nearby outside of the room. And fight those guys while Saber went to fight Caster, who's maybe somewhat close by. If Ilya's right, the battle should be over soon. Off screen, Saber won't lose in single combat. She shouldn't have any trouble cutting Caster down since she doesn't have to worry about protecting us. I could say the same, Tosaka. Why does it look like something's bothering you? Because she'd have a plan. Caster would have a plan, that's why. She's right. Caster came here willingly. If she knows that there's a master here, she should already know which servant is here too. So she knows that Saber is here, and that Saber is a bad matchup for her. If she knew that and still attacked, that means... I don't hear anything. Ilya, do you sense Caster's presence? So Caster's gonna attack now? Maybe. Huh? I looked down at my left arm. I don't understand what happened. My command spells, proof of my contract with Saber, are gone. Oh yeah, I know what happened. No, I didn't. What's going on? Saber should have defeated Castor easily. So then why did my command spell disappear? No, my command spell disappearing doesn't mean my contract is severed. I shouldn't be panicking. Command spells are there to control servants who may act against their master's orders. I haven't needed to use them for Saber. So even if I lose my command spell, Saber and I should be able to get along fine. Oh, here it is. What are those two doing? Saber's just coming back, so why do they seem worried? Door opens, Saber comes in. I'm not gonna say what happens, because I already know the noble phantasms at play. Saber is gripping her chest, and she seems to be in pain. Saber! I rush to her. I don't hear Tosaka's warning. All I see is that Saber is injured. Are you okay, Saber? Where did you... In a single stroke, my body is cut in half from the shoulder to the waist. So quick as a slash that for a moment I don't even feel pain. My mysterious healing abilities don't seem to work against the attack from Saber's sword. Oh, I didn't know that. Saber. The world starts to go dark. As I die, more than my fear of death, I feel myself wondering why Saber attacked me. I feel like the healing still should have worked, though. I don't think that that's how that normally works. But anyway, yeah, I know what happened. But I don't know if it's going to be addressed quickly. How is it easily avoidable?
さて、今回の死因はどんなに優勢だろうと油断しちゃいけないっていうことかな。
I wasn't letting my guard down. That's like literally the opposite of what happened. We weren't letting our guard down. We literally were being on guard by having Shiro protect everybody here and Saber go and attack. That's how you do battle strategy. Like, no, let's both have the super strong person who can beat everybody easily and the much weaker person fight side by side, because this somehow makes sense.
シロはマスターなんだから、セイバーちゃんのちょっとつ猛進なところを諌めてあげないとダメだぞ。
She didn't rush out recklessly. What do you mean control Saber? He did control Saber by telling her to go out and attack. Yeah, I could believe that one. Like, based on what I know, I don't understand how she'd get hit by the Noble Phantasm. Unless, yeah, like she fell for a very stupidly easy trap. She beat two servants. What? Also, by the way, Ilya would like a gluttonous muscle brain, because that's literally her own servant. But it is Day 13. What? Huh?
あれは楽しかった。
What are we talking about here?
タイガー、なんか今グルルとか聞こえなかった？
別に聞こえない。うわー！ライバル出現の泣き！
何あれ、変なのが変なのに乗ってきた。
Okay. It's clear who the enemy is. If Caster is attacking with an entire army, there's only one thing for us to do. Us staying here won't do anything. I mean, you shouldn't go into sight range of another servant, but okay. Saber, come with me. Tosaka, you take Elia.
やだ、私リンのおもりなんてお断りよ。そんなの私だって願い下げよう。けどあんた、シローの言うことなら聞くって言ったでしょ。
Again, the problem is that
おとなしく従いなさい。
the problem is that even I'm very unclear about what they can do, because I think they should be able to defend themselves, but Rin's out of gems, and we haven't seen her use any attacks without gems, even though I mean, I don't know, it's weird because she's like, I can use all the elements, but I can't like shoot fire from my hands or like control wind or something, you know, like, but I can control all elements, whatever that means. So like, it's very confusing. I can control the elements, but I have only ever attacked with my gems. And then Ilya has magic abilities, but we just haven't seen them. I don't know if we actually will see them in this route. In the anime, they actually go pretty detailed, but that was in the Unlimited Blade Works route.
そんなの知らない。セイバーなんかより私の方が役に立つ。
Tosaka grabs Ilya from behind in a full Nelson and covers her mouth. Ilya, her voice muffled, continues shouting insults and expletives.
分かってる。イリアは私が守りきるわ。その間にあなたはキャスターを倒しなさい。
Thanks, but try not to overdo it. You're better off running than fighting if it comes to it. Tosaka nods as if to say she doesn't have to be reminded. Turn my back to Tosaka and head toward the veranda.
セイバー、分かっています。シローは私が。
Saber falls, nodding after Tosaka. In that instant, I doubt my own eyes. A sword swings down at me. I stand stunned as the blade descends towards my head. Hack! I twist away and parry with my wooden sword. Even I don't believe it. My body just reacted the instant I knew I was in mortal peril. Enemy attacks again without missing a beat. Smooth mechanical movement, a fluid, accurate attack. But that's it. It's accurate, but it's not sophisticated and lacks the brutality of a killing strike. Seems pathetic next to the strength of a saber strike. Like it's barely moving in comparison to Berserker's incredible speed. Back against the wall, I parry again as I step back against the wall. Saber strikes like lightning.
シロー、無事ですか?
See for yourself. I got a little spooked, but I managed.
なんとかなったではありません。このような時は私の後ろについてこなければダメです。今後は気をつけてください。
So the exact thing that I expected happened. That it's like he can fight the skeletons, but also, what the heck was that? He didn't have his weapon ready? Did he even strengthen it yet? Like, what the heck? You know, like what? I mean, they said he parried, but like I don't know. Saber scolds me for my carelessness. She's right, but I didn't want to just stay behind her.
シロー、私の話を聞いていますか?
I am. So Saber, what was that thing? The hallway's empty. Whatever hideous thing Saber saved me. It's a Dragon Tooth warrior. They already said this. It's made of Dragon Tooth bones.
今のゴーレム程度なら取り囲まれ
This
て
is
も問題は
nothing.
あり
They're
ま
just
せん。
freaking skeleton guys. I don't know where they were hiding, but how the hell many did... I don't know where they were hiding. How the hell many did they manage to sneak in? How the hell did they manage to sneak in? These crudely assembled things scuttle all around us, closing in like spiders, but they're not the only presence I sense. Countless others surround the house, many times more than I see here.
白横です。
Alright, I leap away from the wall. Why you? I strike at the bones with my wooden sword. Saber sweeps away the bones, crawling toward my back, my exposed back. Bones move jerkily toward us, attacking with the same unnatural movements. It's not hard to fight them off, but we're destroying more of the house with every strike. And I only have a wooden sword. Even if I use strengthening on it, it won't last. What? So he still hasn't used strengthening. Okay. Interesting. I'm not sure what to make of this. As much as I hope I'm wrong, it seems like the bones heading for us are endless. I really hope this isn't going to go on until we both collapse from exhaustion. Damn, where are these things coming from? I can't help but complain as I fight back to back with Saber. There aren't that many bones coming at all. Coming at me. I thought you said you're back to back with Saber. Okay, well. Some seem to be coming from inside the house, but most seem to be coming from the yard. Saber's slashing away at the bones coming from the yard. Looks like they're heading toward the living room. Tosaka and Ellie are there, and Saber has her hands full dealing with the other bones. Saber readies her sword. There may be no need to hide it now. Her golden sword is ready to demonstrate its full power. What? So, wait, why would you reveal your sword? At this point, almost nobody knows she's King Arthur, so this is really weird to do this for no reason. Wait, so Saber, don't use Excalibur. Okay, then he just yells Excalibur. Don't use Excalibur right now. I don't care if you destroy the house. Okay, I might care a little, but we're in a residential area. You know what'll happen if you use it here. I shot the Saber as I bat away the bones striking at me.
マスターの指示ならば従いますが、これだけの数をまともに相手にするのは面倒です。一掃しなければいずれ窮地に立たされます。
She didn't do this in the other route, by the way. In the other route, she just attacked them all. Or, sorry, in the other choice. I know. These things are like familiars, right? Then if we defeat the one who controls them, that should wipe away the army. Saber, can you find Caster?
探るまでもありません。キャスターは庭にいます。気配を隠しもしないということは、私たちを誘っているようですが。
Interesting. Fine, let's give her what she wants. We aren't going to last like this.
私は一向に構わないのですが。では、このままキャスターを。
The yard is just ahead. Caster's just out there. She shouldn't be too difficult to reach. But if we do that, we won't be defending the house. Saber is fighting the bones off now, but as soon as she's outside, the wall holding them all back will be gone. I should. Oh boy. Look. Believe in Tosaka. Hey, she said she's so good. I hear the glass shattering. I hear the sound of intense fighting coming from the living room.
白、指示を。迷っている時間はありません。
I know. My delaying is making the situation worse. We're going after Caster. I already said Tosaka should take care of Ilya.
では行きましょう。マスター、私の背中を任せます。
She hurries down the hall, mowing down bones as she goes. The bone soldiers disappear before getting anywhere near Saber. They are like vanishing snowflakes. Saber scatters so many in her path. It looks like a snowstorm. Sure. She said she'd trust her back to me, but she pretty clearly doesn't need me to protect her. I'm once again reminded how skilled of a swordsman Saber is. Saber charges through them unwavering. She cuts her way straight to the source of these bones. Her only goal now is to defeat the yet unseen sixth servant that has invaded the house. Saber stops. The soldiers, which had been coming at us in droves, are suddenly gone. This must be our destination. A distorted human figure looms ahead of us. Distorted human figure. It wears a robe of some kind, but the robe... Why are they not showing a picture of her? It wears a robe of some kind, but the robe itself is so dark that it looks more like a hole in the night. A dark shadow. As soon as I lay my eyes on the figure, I'm struck by an indescribable sense of anxiety.
あなたがセイバー。なるほど。確かにこれならバーサーカーを倒しうるわね。私の増票では足止めにもならないでしょう。
Why is she saying, "Are you Saber?" I guess it's possible that she wouldn't know it's Saber. Like, maybe it could have been Lancer, but that's pretty much the only possibility. The figure chuckles. It seems the dark figure is the master of those bone creatures, Caster. But there's no master. There's no sign of a master nearby. Because that's actually how you're supposed to fight in a servant fight. You're not supposed to fight a master to servant next to each other. That's stupid. Shiro just can't even imagine how big of a problem this is. In Fate Zero and in Fate Strange Fake, it is fatal to be fighting a few feet away from your servant. Maybe she's the same as Lancer, able to move even far from her master? What? Anybody can do that. What? What? She's able to move even far from her master. I'm trying to think about this. Like, obviously, well, I guess all of the servants that we've seen up to now do fight next to each other. Berserker, Rider, Archer, even Archer. Like, Archer really should have been fighting far away from Rin, but like, no, he always stayed right next to her. And Saber. So yeah, all four of them have been fighting next to their masters. That's weird. I don't know why they've been doing that. And then Assassin, I mean, it's not like there was a master near Assassin, and yeah, and then Lancer, there was nobody nearby. So like, this is just normal. What? What? Saber challenges her directly with the question.
彼は私の主にふさわしくなかった。だから消えてもらったし、消えてしまった。
I can't see the expression on the robed servant's face, but I can hear the terrible coldness in Caster's voice.
では、貴様のマスターはとっくに死んだわ。けれど問題はないのよ、セイバー。私たちは魂食いでしょう。魔力の供給源なんていくらでも溢れている。あとはそう、聖杯さえ手に入れてしまえば心配は何もなくなるでしょうね。貴様も現世の復活を望むのか。どこの英霊かは知らぬが、そのためにかつての誇りを捨てたのか。
I don't know what this means. Have you abandoned what pride you had for this? I mean, you don't know that she had pride, and for what's for this mean? あら、人間風情に使われるのは誇りを捨てるとは言わないのかしら。私はそれが我慢ならなかっただけよ。今も昔も誰かの手足になるのはこりごりなの。だから使う側に回っただけ。I figured. 私も貴様の非業になど興味はない。Oh, there's a lot of Shiro not even giving any input here. Oh, okay. Saber tilts her body just slightly. She's only about 10 meters from Caster. Saber should be able to close that distance and bring Caster down in a heartbeat. 物騒ね。せっかく話し合いに来たのに問答無用だなんて。これでも手加減はしたつもりなのですよ。貴様と話すことなどない。潔くここで散れ。Saber is intent only on killing. I'm not about to oppose her in this case. All I smell from Caster is blood. She must be telling the truth about murdering her master. Well, that's not what she was implying. We don't know when she murdered her master. What she was implying earlier was that she's been killing other people to continually have magic to stay materialized. But Shiro's dumb. Her raid tonight was clearly intended to kill everyone in the house. So there's no reason for me to stop Saber. Besides, Castor isn't even a threat to Saber. Even I can see Castor's abilities. What? What does this mean? I can see Castor's abilities. It's a freaking Castor. You can't see shit. and she's literally surrounded in black fog. Why would you say Castor's not a threat to Saber? Based on nothing. Like it's completely beyond him that the Castor could just like summon a black hole or something. Like, oh no way, that's crazy. Like, whatever. She's the weakest when it comes to one-to-one combat. No, that's not correct. She's weakest in one-to-one close combat. Close combat. Ranged combat, she's possibly stronger than Archer. It kind of depends on exactly what Archer's range is compared to her range. If Saber engages her, she can only lose. Don't do it, Saber. Even with all that in mind, I can't shake off this sense of anxiety. It's not the same feeling of hopeless, inevitable death I got whenever we were in Berserker's presence. I just want to throw this out there. Why would Shiro have better combat instincts than King Arthur? That seems weird. Do I just have some sort of aversion to her, or is it a warning of something dangerous? Forget about me. Somehow my left hand is aching to warn me that Saber should stay away from that thing. What's that mean? What do you mean? Why would your left hand be aching? What? I hesitated too long. Saber launches herself at the dark shadow. Well, suddenly we can see her. Castor smiles. She doesn't look at all disturbed as Saber rushes toward her. She mutters Atlas. I can't understand what she says. You just said it. She said Atlas. Sends something beyond words straight into our minds. The world lurches and distorts. The air grows denser around Saber. What? I hear, even feel a tremendous impact. The ground flexes like something massive slammed into Saber from above. No way. She activated some kind of magecraft without moving a muscle. Okay. I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop questioning what Shiro's mentality is here. Why would she have to move a muscle? She could just stand there and like shoot magic into her circuits and then use a spell. Why would she have to move a muscle? Like, what? You don't even know what time period she's from. Like, there's mind magic. There's paralysis magic. She could have mystic eyes. Yeah, you don't have to move a muscle to do a spell or eye magic. Like, what are you talking about? Actually, I think she murmurs something like an incantation. Incantations can be shortened. The simpler the magecraft, the shorter the spell can be made. But this isn't by any means simple magecraft. Not many mages could visualize such a thing in a single breath. Even if it were possible. She's a servant. She's a mage servant. Even if it were possible, they'd need to prepare catalysts ahead of time, like Tosaka does. Maybe there is a catalyst. Sheesh, man. But Castor triggered the magecraft with a murmured word. She could murmur a word while holding a catalyst that you can't see underneath her robes. I've never even heard of anything like this. Okay. If that is Castor's magecraft, she is no mere mage. Yes, she is. I mean, there is more to her, but I just want to throw out there. Every mage servant is weird. There is no normal mage servants. They are all legends or just have weird abilities. In fact, she's actually one of the most straightforward ones, funnily enough. But it kind of depends what she needs to do, I suppose. Saber hovers there, frozen. Her feet still kicking midair, hitting suspended there. The air around her seems to have thickened into gelatin. I can't get close. Some sort of invisible barrier holds me back. The murkiness seems confined to Saber, but so long as her feet don't touch the ground, she can't move. Wow, this is normal than the anime. this is different. Sorry, this is different than the anime. As far as I remember, I don't remember Saber ever being levitated. That's weird. That's smart though. Yeah, she should still be able to swing her sword.
あなたの時代の魔術師がどれほどだったかは知らないけど、この指は寝台に生きたもの。こんなマッセの魔術師たちから見れば、私の技は魔法のそれでしょう。
What she does is actually magic. If you do magecraft during the Age of Gods, it is magic. Sorry, oops. A ridiculing laugh echoes out from the depths of that dark robe. Saber is still suspended, helpless in the air.
なんだ、本当にこの程度ですか、キャスター。
Again, I assume that she's just going to swing her sword really hard. She dismisses this as if it were some dull trick.
対魔力。そんな、私の魔術すら弾くというのか。
Caster steps back. After casually nullifying Caster's magecraft, Saber surges toward her at lightning speed. But I... give more info, I guess. I shouldn't be so apprehensive. We have Caster cornered. If we retreat, we're only giving Caster a chance to win. Saber's sword flashes in a blur of movement. She's closed the distance and will likely cleave Caster in half with her next strike. But Saber suddenly stops. It's nothing Caster has done. Saber's own instincts seem to be stopping her from getting closer.
貴様、それは。
Saber twists away to dodge. Too late. She falters as if something has lifted her upwards. Then a strange dagger plunges into her chest. It's just so stupid. Like, how did I pick the wrong option? That's absurd. But I shouldn't be so apprehensive. Like, what? I literally said, Saber, watch out, you're in range, is what I said. Well, here's what happened. Anyway, here's her noble phantasm.
キャスター、今のは。
So so I guess she's doing a lot of little tiny tricks to just throw Saber off, and that makes it just enough of a throwing off that she's able to stab Saber. I still feel like Saber should be able to defend herself though. Like, even if that's the case, she should still be able to, like, just parry, you know, block away, hit away the dagger, even if Saber is, like, a little bit surprised.
そう、これが私の宝具よ、セイバー。サーバントは愚か、人間一人殺せない、何も生み出せない最弱の武器。けれどある事柄に対しては全てを許された寝台の免罪符。
That's kind of a weird way to explain it, but okay.
シロ、
Saber isn't injured, but she collapses to her knees anyway. How do you know that? How do you know that? Saber, before I can figure out what's going on. There it goes again. The final command spell disappears from my left hand. Eh?
予定通りよ、坊や。あとは中にいる魔術師と器を回収すれば、私の勝利は揺るがない。
Caster raises her hand, even without her chanting. The air wavers and blows me off my feet. Huh? I can't get up. My legs are an absolute mess from that blow and simply won't move.
そろそろね。さあ、立ちなさい、セイバー。たとえ神が罰しようと、私があなたを許してあげる。
She snickers. Saber stands up, walks in the same jerky manner as those bone soldiers, slowly approaching me as I lay immobile. Her eyes bulge like she's having a nightmare as she swings her sword down.
素敵よ、セイバー。これであなたも私と同じ主殺しの罪を負った。 ええ、これからは罪人同士仲良くこの地上を呪い殺しましょう。
Caster's laughter assaults my eardrums. Without even understanding what's going on, I feel my body go rigid. Crimson stains the night. Saber stares down at my blood-soaked body, her eyes filled with tears. Kind of weird that they did the TV shut-off thing. I can't believe that between the two choices I had, that was like that was the difference, like one word difference.
よし、どうやら敵は去ったよね。頭に歯型がかっぽりと残っちゃったよ。それでは気を取り直しまして、ちょっとした脇道から谷底へまっしぐら。
Okay.
このままじゃ現世復帰が無理めなシローを助けるレスキューコーナー、タイガー道場始まり。はーい。けどタイガー、今回のデッドエンド、さっきのデッドとあまり変わらないわ。こっちもセイバーが暴走してシローがバッサリ殺されたエンドよね。そうね。けどさっきのとは少し違うっていうか、今回はシローが頑張れば防げたデッドエンドだからな。
Tried a little harder in what way? Like, it would make sense if it was reversed. If I just said Saber, then it's like, well, you didn't tell her anything. You just said Saber, you know? But so if you said at that point, oh, you could have avoided it if you had tried harder by saying more than Saber. But instead, I said Saber, you're in range. And somehow that's not trying harder. That was somehow some sort of hesitation. I don't get it.
そういえばセイバーいないね。うん。責任が半々なら落ち込むことはないみたい。
Half her fault.
そんなわけで今回は安心してタイガー道場を運営できます。そうね。けど今回は言うべきことはないかな。こういう微妙な選択肢はこれでおしまい。物語もいよいよ山場だからしっかりしないと正しいエンディングに行けなくなるよ、シロ。
The choices won't be subtle anymore? I mean, okay, so this one was a subtle choice, I assume. That's what they mean.
キャスターさえ倒せばいよいよ敵はあと一人。
Weird for her to say that since there's Assassin and Lancer.
勝って兜の尾を締めよ。ピンチの次にチャンスあり。気を抜かずに戦うべしっす。おっす。はい、よくできました。それじゃあまた次のタイガー道場で待ってるよ。はーい、またね、シロ。
I'm already seeing some differences from the anime, but you know, we'll see where things go. So, Urine Rain Saber is not trying hard enough compared to No Saber. I don't know how I was supposed to know this. It's like, more info? No, that's stupid. Saber raises her sword. She's already closed in on Caster. No, don't Saber. I desperately sprint towards Saber, my heart racing. Wait, whoa, that's a big difference. You run towards Saber here? Saber suddenly halts. It's not clear whether Caster did anything. Saber tenses up after sensing something from Caster. So this is the same thing as last time? Saber twists away to dodge. However, Bony aren't. Oh, okay. Man, we doing different timelines at this point. So the exact same thing happens, but now this time skeletons jump out of the ground and grab Saber, even though Saber should not be affected by this whatsoever. Bony arms burst from the ground to grab her legs.
予知直感まで持っているとは予想外だったけれど、これで罪ね、セイバー。
I assume that Shiro's gonna get stabbed by it instead. A sharp blade emerges from the folds of Caster's robe. It's an oddly shaped dagger, thin and brittle. That blade isn't meant for killing. How would you be able to tell that it's brittle, though? Saber regards it in disgust, and Caster strikes, clearly seeing her opportunity for victory. Being grabbed from the ground must have surprised Saber. I mean, okay. I still feel like she should be using like her full power just to like, oh man, I'm in like close range of a close range weapon, be more violent. And, like maybe she'd have half a second of hesitation, but like seeing Castor go, like you'd think Saber would go like, oh man, and then jump away like even harder, right? Like, as Saber is unable to dodge or deflect, she totally can. Wait, why can't she deflect? The falling falling there. But why can't she deflect the dagger? Whatever. This is like, okay, whatever. And simply takes the blow, looking astonished. Why you? I hear Castor's voice from behind me somewhere. I can't see her expression. The only thing I can do is throw myself in front of Saber and take the blow in her place. I hear Castor's voice from somewhere. Whatever. I'm getting really confused on the positioning on this. Remember, before this, we're told that this dagger can't kill somebody. Somehow. It wasn't graceful. I didn't have the confidence to just step in and take the dagger to the chest. So instead, I tried to shield Saber, hugging her to obscure Castor's target. So Castor's dagger plunged into my back, tearing through my spine in a moment of unbelievable pain. I thought you said this was not a non-lethal dagger. I stopped myself from crying out in pain and mustered my strength to support Saber. I can't hear what she's saying, even as close as she is to my ear. Get back, Saber. Get back behind me. Saber understands before I can gather my voice to tell her to jump. I go flying. Saber shakes off the bony hands gripping her legs and carries me with her. See? She can just shake off the freaking hands now, but not before. Saber's voice is urgent. She lays me gently on the ground, but the pain only grows worse. It feels like scissors tore open my back and someone poured lead down my spine. The pain is unreal. But I'm not exactly losing my mind over it. Hearing Saber practically shouting actually makes me calmer. Dummy, you don't have to shout. I can hear you. This is nothing. It just hurts. Forget about me. Take care of Castor. I pointed in Castor's direction, my head still down. Saber turns toward Castor. I think Castor's gonna get away. She doesn't have the element of surprise now, but like... Saber's voice is harsh and angry. The black shadow clicks her tongue in irritation and raises a strange dagger in her hand.
見ての通り生倉で人間一人殺せないものですけどね。あなたが直感した通り、ある事柄に関してのみ万能とされる魔法の札よ。
Why do they say unfit for killing anyone when you literally just slashed apart his spine? Like what? My magical trump card was limitless power for a single purpose. Why are you telling us this? Castor's talking bold. Is this bold? Okay, but she doesn't seem as composed as earlier. Even a powerful mage like Castor can't hurt Saber as long as she's only using magecraft. I mean, depends. All magecraft, if she uses like all magecraft, it'd be a lot of stuff to keep track of. Whatever her noble phantasm might be, it can't hurt Saber even if she surprises her with it. You should beat her, no problem. I give my orders through gritted teeth.
あら、それでいいの、セイバー。確かにあなたなら私を追い詰められるわ。けど、その間に誰がそこの男を守るのかしらね。言うまでもないでしょうけど、私の魔術が通じないのはあくまであなただけ。あなたがそこの坊やから離れれば、追い詰められた私が何をするか予想がつくのではなくて。
Saber's voice rumbles up from deep in her chest. The rattling of bones grows louder. I'm kneeling on the ground and Saber holds her sword, defending me as the bones surround us. Damn it. I messed up. Even if I manage to save Saber, there's no point with me being left so weak. I can't move properly, so I'm just slowing Saber down. Castor would be no threat to Saber alone, but with me to worry about. What? Saber?
マスターは黙っていてください。今はこれが正しい選択です。
Saber lowers her sword. I think I hear Caster laugh amid the sound of the rattling bones all around us.
話を聞こうキャスター。条件によっては見逃してやってもいい。
正気？あなたたちの命は私が握っているのですよ。そんな強気な態度に出られるとつい握りつぶしてしまいそうだわ。
間違えるな。貴様が握っているのは私ではなく、私のマスターの命だけだ。だがそれを潰すというのなら私も容赦はしない。この身が消え去る前に我が剣の全てをもって貴様を焼き尽くす。
Burn you to cinders is a weird interpretation. The air around us goes cold. Saber's words intimidate Caster. I can feel it.
いいわ。そこの坊やには手を出さない。もともと私の目的はあなただもの。
初めから私が目的？
そうよ。バーサーカーを倒したほどの英霊を見逃す手はないわ。残るサーバントは私とあなた、それにランサーだけ。あなたを味方に引き入れればランサーなど敵ではないもの。
残り3人ではアサシンはすでに倒されたのか？
さあ、もういないのだから倒されたのでしょう。主も守れないサーバントは消えて当然よ。
Assassin was defeated? By the way, normally this would be a very not surprising thing, but whatever. Does that mean the master in Ryodo Temple is gone? I didn't fight them, or even know who they were, but now there's one less master. So the only remaining servants are Saber, Caster, and Lancer, who hasn't shown up since that first night.
くだらない無駄話はそこまでよ。私が欲しいのはあなたのその宝具だけ。マスターを殺されたくなければおとなしくその剣を渡しなさい。
So it's very interesting that that Lancer just does nothing. Like, he was so active the first night and then just nothing after that for like almost 2 straight weeks.
それこそ無意味な。この剣を扱えるのは私だけだ。宝具はその持ち主でなければ使えないと英霊ならば分かっていよ
う。ああ、そうだったわね。けどそれならあなたごといただくまでの話よ、セイバー。どんなに優れた騎士でも捕らえてしまえばどうとでも懐柔できるし、何よりあなたは私の好みですからね。しつけるのは楽しそうだわ。
Her voice drips with amusement. Gah, I feel myself on the verge of passing out, even as my anger boils over. I try to shove my pain aside and start to force myself to stand on numb legs. You piece of... I'm not going to let Saber get captured because of me. I decided I'm going to protect Saber, so I'm not letting a wound like this bring me down. I grab my wooden sword and start slashing at the bones surrounding us.
う。いけない、しろ。
Saber's voice is brittle and tense.
そう、自殺したいのなら止めはしないわ。
Caster mocks me as I struggle. Bones crack and rattle, and as if to muffle those sounds, almost seems like it could be Lancer. The bones are swept aside in the blink of an eye by a sudden volley of arrows. So I was thinking for a second, red projectiles, but like that'd be Archer, but there's no way this is Archer, right? What? We all stand dumbfounded, the arrows that rain down on us. disappear as if they had been an illusion, but they weren't. The entire horde of bones is gone.
誰だ
Castor looks up. Saber must have noticed earlier. Well, before Castor. She stares up toward the wall in disbelief. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is when he shows up. Because I was wondering if he was going to show up. I'm like, man, he hasn't shown up? Like, damn. Like, but like, isn't he like a really big deal at the end of this route? And it's like, okay. So now he's showing up. Man, the comparison, like the comparison between this and the anime are so interesting. Because I think this is way better than the anime. Even though it's not like a dramatically different course of events. It's different enough that, like, you know, it feels like we're reaching a conclusion here, and then we don't. You know, it's like, oh wait, you know, like, once we deal with Castor, it's like almost all over, and he shows up. Okay. Now I don't quite know where we're going here. My assumption is that he's going to kill Castor here. I don't think that's what happened in the anime. And of course, I'm talking about the 2006 anime, by the way. I don't understand what I'm seeing. There's a golden figure standing with the moon behind him. It's a man clad in golden armor looking down at the yard with a cruel smile.
何者
Castor raises her voice, instinctively realizing that this is the one who annihilated her troops. She should know to escape at this point. He gives no answer. He's not even looking at Castor. His eyes are fixed on one person alone, Saber.
答えなさい何者かと聞いているのです
Castor's voice is heavy with emotion. The golden armored man finally looks at her and kills her, probably. Castor gasps as the man's red eyes bore into her. His gaze is impossibly cold. It doesn't really look like a cold gaze to me, but okay. He doesn't even see Castor as human. I can tell as far away as I am. Whatever. I don't blame Castor for being intimidated, like some icy hand has a grip on her heart, since she looked straight into his eyes.
あなたはなぜ私の邪魔を
Castor's voice trembles as she speaks. You must know she's doomed if she doesn't do something.
雑種に名乗る言われはない。失せるがいい。どけ。
His answer comes as a death sentence. I hear a loud snap. By the time I realize it's the sound of him clicking his fingers, the tragedy has begun. Myriad weapons appear in the air, shooting toward Castor like bullets from a machine gun. Castor raises her arm. A conceptual shield envelops her. It forms a glossy film in front of Castor. It is likely every bit as durable as Berserker himself. I don't believe that one. But her efforts are probably fruitless, as the barrier is merely glass. What? That's so stupid to say. It's magic, man. It's not literally glass, it's magic. Her crystalline barrier shatters under the deadly rain of so many weapons. She sounds utterly dumbfounded, with not a modicum of concern for Castor as she so pitifully tilts her head in wonder. The weapons tear through her dark robe. I'd like to mention I would normally trust Castor's capabilities and knowledge over anyone else's. But this is kind of complicated, why it was able to get through her shield. They are merciless. Spears tear into her, sending fabric flying, only for yet more of them to plunge into her body. Swords cut down her falling form, while arrows sail toward an arm as it is about to hit the ground. An axe chops off a head about to complain of the pain. All of it brings Castor to untold peaks of agony. Can't possibly survive. Castor, succumbing to an endless hail of so many different weapons, is no longer even recognizably human. The wind flows. Her tattered, empty robe floats away. I just want to throw this out there. Normally, I would actually believe that this was like a sort of clone. Because that's how good of a caster she is. But admittedly, she had to use her Noble Phantasm. So it's not like she could have done that. It's not like she would have done that, given the clone her Noble Phantasm. But I mean, she could have, especially since like I'm not 100% sure she can have a clone though. To be fair, shredded pieces of. A torn robe tries violently to hold its form, maybe because it's the only thing remaining to remind us of Castor. I'm completely speechless. My frozen mind is mixed on the miserable remnants of that robe as they float away. And then... I think he could... So here's the problem. If Castor had run immediately... First of all, I'm pretty sure he would have let her get away. But also, I feel like Castor should have had many tricks, many spells, many ways to escape. So her, like, trying to talk to him repeatedly was out of character. I don't know how much she knows about him, though. So that's another weird thing. Like, she might have known about him from the very beginning. It almost sounded like maybe she did, but it's not very clear. The man in gold grunts contemptuously. What? I'm not hallucinating? Dark robe twists like the coils of a snake, then sprouts wings to fly away. But it's too late. I don't know what the man did. I only see a crack in the night sky itself. Like a wave breaking out at sea, the fault line engulfs the fluttering robes. Fault line? It's like a person being run over by a steamroller. The robe falls. Castor is beneath it, unscathed. And then... a storm of magical swords rains down on her. Okay, this is what I expected. I don't know why she had to have been so flashy about it. I feel like she could have acted like she was the robe longer. Like, why didn't she just let the robe keep flying naturally rather than, I'm the robe, I'm gonna fly away now. Like, because the second that he started attacking her, he was, she was his enemy. Yeah, interesting. Her scream splits the night. More swords fall upon her in response, and her screams. The scream grows louder. Castor must be able to heal herself like Saber? What? Even all those swords impaling her is still not enough to kill her, but it's hard to watch. The torrent of swords do not stop. Each weapon is different, no two alike. And as much as I don't want to admit it, each of the weapons is a magical sword or spear, and is easily a match for Saber's Noble Phantasm. An inexhaustible supply of Noble Phantasms rains down on Castor. Seeing the way she struggles under it is just... And that is the end of Castor. She disappears along with the black mist that was hiding her. The infinite cycle of torture that seemed to drag on forever lasted, in actuality, about 10 seconds. During that time, Saber stood, scowling at the Golden Knight. I'm trying to remember the ending of Unlimited Blade Works right now. Because, like, I remember everything about him in Unlimited Blade Works. But I'm forgetting Castor. I'm kind of thinking, did them two work together in Unlimited Blade Works? But I don't remember. Man, there's a lot of stuff that I'm remembering You know, if it's spoilers, it's spoilers. But I remember Saber getting captured and then being dressed up in a white dress and being humiliated or whatever. I believe that happened after this is all Unlimited Blade Works. It'd have to be after Fujini basically gets captured by Caster. I believe Shiro gives up and Saber ends up having to go with Caster. After that, if I remember correctly, Archer goes to save her under Rin's orders, and then that's when Archer fights Lancer, and Archer uses Roias. Oh wait, no, it's even weirder because actually Archer is working for Caster at that point for stupid reasons. and then, but yeah, he is fighting Lancer. So weirdly, Lancer is kind of sort of working with Rin and Shiro because at that point Archer had betrayed Rin. And then he used Roias and dumb stuff happens. But then after that, I don't quite remember what happened. La-di-da-di-da. Shiro deals with Archer. And then Shiro confronts Gilgamesh. But I don't remember how Saber gets out of Caster's control or what happens to Caster. I'm remembering a fight where Caster is like in the air in a hole in the ground at the shrine, and she's fighting, sort of like maybe she was fighting Saber at a distance and I'm just forgetting. I don't know. I know, like, it's kind of weird to bring it up, but it's just funny because like I thought maybe some of that stuff happened in this route. I'll have to check the anime because I don't remember Gilgamesh killing Caster at this point. I'm pretty confident he didn't. For many reasons. Wait. Is Assassin actually dealt with right now? Is this a misdirect? That, oh my gosh. What? Wait. What? This is weird. This is weird. Oh man, we'll see where this goes. It's possible there's only Saber and Lancer left. Because I thought for sure the assassin thing was a fake. And it kind of was. But it's even more so, more complicated. This is very weird. I'm liking this route more and more. I would actually say the anime made some bad choices. I understand what they did. I've always heard that the 2006 anime was a combination of the Fate and Unlimited Blade Works route, but I didn't know just how much they combined them. Because that's why I was like confused. I was like, well, you know, okay, some stuff's gonna be different, but you know, you know, 2-3 things are different, or you know, combined into the Unlimited Blade Works route. But you know, there's a lot of similarities because they're still routes. They're still gonna be very similar. But now I'm wondering if they were hiding a lot more info in this route. Because, you know, it was Caster dead. We just don't know anything at all. Like, that's crazy that we're not actually going to learn anything about Caster in this route. Like, not even a little bit? Like, I thought, oh, we'll learn a little bit, right? Like, okay, we don't see her master. Okay, yeah, okay, I understand that. And then I remembered some stuff from the anime. It's like, okay, yeah, that's right. I remember the confrontation, one of the confrontations between Caster and Saber. And the master being a big part of that, and there being a lot of big surprises. So that would only be a surprise if we didn't see that in this route, I think. But yeah, they said we were getting near the climax, but yeah, now I'm wondering exactly to what extent. Because that's the other funny thing. I don't know if they purely... Well, I guess they Man, I don't know. I don't know, man. This is so weird. Because, like, in the anime, he showed up around episode, like, 12 out of, like, 24. And he shows up. Saber's like, oh my gosh, he's so powerful, I can't deal with him. And Shiro's like, oh my gosh, he's so crazy. And then, like, they see him use his superpower, and they barely survive. And then, I forget why, but he leaves after that. I guess that was supposed to be very unbelievable, because that's not truly what happened. So I guess that's what's going on in that case. So that might have been anime only, unless it was an Unlimited Blade Works route, but I don't think it was. But it's crazy for him to be showing up at literally the 11th hour only. Because I remember him being around a little bit in Unlimited Blade Works. Like, felt like, okay, you get him a little bit early in this route, then you get him at the end. And then Unlimited Blade Works, it was like, he kind of shows up halfway through, sort of, kind of. Yeah, that's right. He shows up halfway through, and then he becomes a pretty big player in the Unlimited Blade Work, in the latter half. But, like, you know, he at least showed up a little bit here in this route, and then shows up later. Okay, cool. But no, here it's just, he shows up at the end. Hey, I'm here. We haven't hinted anything about this guy the whole time. He's just here now. And I guess that's kind of the point, that this is supposed to be, whoa, this is crazy. And he shows up at the end and everything, but then in the next route, he actually becomes more active very early and becomes the main guy, and then he's not important in the Heaven's Feel route. That actually makes sense, sort of. I mean, I don't really know why he's showing up now. But I kind of know. Okay, maybe I do kind of know why. It might be connected to Lancer. Kind of. We'll see. Now then, it has been a while, Saber. Do you remember the decision I made? Oh my gosh. Are we going to actually mention Fate Zero a little bit? His tone turns amicable as he addresses Saber. But Saber doesn't answer. She only glares all the more intensely at him. Will you be my wife?
あれから10年だぞ。すでに心を決めても良い頃だが。ああ。もっともそれは俺だけの話なのか。お前にとってはつい先日の話であった。まったく男を待たせるとはたわけた女だ。
He laughs heartily. My heart's pounding, partly from the disaster I just witnessed. But beyond that, the way he's looking at Saber is making me nauseous. Zashu. He glances toward the house, annoyed. I look and see Tosaka and Ilya on the veranda in front of the living room. Ilya looks up at the man like she's just seen a ghost. He strains her eyes for a moment, then shakes her head in disbelief. Ilya jumps off the veranda and glares at the man as if in challenge. Oh my gosh, she's gonna fucking die, isn't she? Well, wait. Because I know that she was involved in the ending. I don't remember exactly how they deal with her in this ending. It is a little bit weird that she freaks out so much like this, though. I mean, spoilers, but like, this guy is from the previous Grail War. At the end of the Grail War, he gets a real body, so now he's like sort of part real person, part servant. So I don't know why she's like, oh no, this is impossible, I can't believe this. And it's like, well, wait a second. I mean, it's not like you knew all of the details from the last Grail War anyway, so I'm just saying. What? Wait, Ilya. My words don't reach her. Ilya releases a massive magical energy straight at the man. Why? This is absurd. The writer is forcing her to do this. She would not. If she understands enough of what's going on in this situation, she would realize, hey, I shouldn't attack this guy. In fact, I should stay away from this guy. Very clearly. And yet, also, I kind of wonder if they said, hey, how dare you intrude on somebody's house? What would he say to that? Like, would he just say, your property means nothing to me, or, you know, the world belongs to me or something, I guess? I don't know. Still feels like maybe you could be like, hey, I wouldn't barge into your house. Why is it okay that you barged into our house? I hear it rushing through the air. He does nothing. A mirrored shield appears in front of him and reflects Ilya's attack back at her. A mirrored shield? This is new. Then she's just gonna explode. She'd been so blind and desperate in her attack that now she has no time to react to it. Ilya can only stand there as her attack rebounds toward her. Okay, so she can't shoot wind. I thought that magecraft can't go outside of your body though. Oh wait, I just went outside of her body. So stupid. That hurt. Tosaka steps in and saves her, blocking the attack.
なるほど。今回はまた変わり種だな。
What's that mean?
前回の鉄を踏まぬよう少しは工夫したということか。
Oh, okay, I see. No, Einsprings. He looks down at Ilya, scrutinizing her. He looks at Ilya the same way he looks at Saber, coldly, as though appraising prized possessions. Yeah, she sure is acting like a 10-year-old. No wonder we learn in later. It must be later roots that we learn that she was 18 years old all along, because she's gonna stay acting like a 10-year-old very clearly. Like, maybe you shouldn't be whining this much. Maybe you wouldn't die then. Sheesh. Yeah. Like, it's already pretty clear that this guy kills people. Man, yeah, okay, you know, so it's funny. I have seen the memes about him being a misogynist, and I just thought, oh, this is all directed toward Saber, right? Wait, we're in a scene where there was 4 women here. He already bad-mouthed one woman and killed her, and then he's bad-mouthing Saber, and now he's bad-mouthing Ilya and might kill her too.
いいから早く開け。そうだ。せっかくの5人目なのだからな。
You are the 5th one after all. I assume Grail. He says it so simply. I'm not sure why that had any effect on her. That is true. 5 out of 7. Ilya trembles violently, then slumps to the ground. This is why it's confusing when he said 5th, because it's like, this is a lot of 5th. The 5th servant died. This is the 5th war. I think that's what we really are talking about. That's it. Nothing else can happen. Tosaka and I can only look up at the man. We completely understand. He's not looking at us. If either of us so much as speaks up, we'll meet the same fate as Castor. But wait, why do these two understand that, but not Ilya? See, that's my problem. But not Saber. I thought Ilya is smarter than Shiro and Shiro. I thought Ilya is smarter than Shiro and Rin. But not Saber. Her silence as she stares up at the Golden Knight is entirely different than ours.
あなたが限界しているのです。アーチャー。
Archer. Why would she call her Archer? She knows who he is now. Saber tries to keep her voice under control. Tosaka and I can only gasp in surprise.
なぜも何もなかろう。聖杯は俺のものだ。自らの持ち物を取りに来て何が悪い。
Well, I mean, I guess this is a retcon, but in Fate Zero, he literally said he didn't care at all. And in fact, I think he even maybe showed that he had a grail because like he can just have them, kind of nonsense. Yeah.
あなたがそのような英雄ではない。いや、そもそも。
やめておけ。その先を口にしては戦わざるを得なくなるぞ、騎士王よ。
Okay, so wait. Wait. So Saber is the king of knights, and he is the. I thought he was the king of knights.
いや、もとよりそのつもりであったが、今日がそがれた。再会を祝すにしては、ここはみすぼらしすぎるからな。
I came here for no reason. Like, no kidding. You just came into somebody's house out of nowhere for no explanation and then left. With that, the man in gold turns away. He turns his back to us as if to demonstrate that we are no threat.
いずれ会うぞ、セイバー。あの時から俺の決定は変わらぬ。次に出向くまでに心を決めておくがいい。
He disappears. Tension fades and the yard returns to the usual tranquility, but it's the only thing that returns to how it was. The Emiya house is in shambles and Ilya has fainted. And Saber, still with her back to us, remains silent. Okay. I set out a futon out in the living room and laid the unconscious Ilya on it. She may have fainted, but her face is peaceful at last.
ほら、よそ見しない。包帯がずれるじゃない。
I feel a hand slap my back. Ouch, Tosaka. Is that any way to treat the injured?
うるさい。人がせっかく手当てしてあげてるんだから、少しはおとなしくしてなさいっての。ほら、右手あげて。もう必要ないとは思うけど、一応こっちにも薬塗っとくから。
Ah, cold.
触覚があるってことは平気な証拠よ。はい、次包帯ね。
She wraps the bandage around my right shoulder with surprising skill. It's past 10. After our battle with Castor, Tosaka began treating my wounds as soon as we got back to the living room. Well, she started, but most of my wounds had already healed, so now she's just fussing over me.
はい、おしまい。にしても、ほんとでたらめな体ね。それだけの治癒能力を持ってるのは吸血鬼ぐらいなものよ。
This is a really big deal, by the way. Like, Shiro downplays this to an absurd degree. Like, oh yeah, you know, just the best healing on the planet. Whatever. Like, what the heck?
あなた、本当に人間？
I think she said something similar before. Hey, I'm just an ordinary human being. Even I don't know what's going on with my body, so don't bother asking. Then don't say you're an ordinary human being if you don't know what's going on.
冗談。まっとうな人間が脊髄切られてピンシャンしてるかっていうのよ。
Yeah. That's a huge deal. Like, Shiro just, like, is so blasé about the most horrifying injuries ever. It's like, well, anyway, I gotta continue with my day. And it's like, you are so stupid. So stupid. Like, you literally got your... And, like, I mean, this is even, like, one of the worst... This isn't one of the worst situations that's happened to him. But, like, it's still pretty significant to be literally told, your spinal cord was cut in half. And you're like, hey, leave me alone. You're so whiny about my situation. Sheesh, man. You don't even know why you got healed.
便利だからあえて追求しなかったけど、いい加減不気味になってきたわ。もしかしてあんた、首を切られない限り死なない土地の出だったりしない？
The scary thing here is that Tosaka is serious. What do you mean? No, the scary thing here is that you don't take it seriously. One of these days, she might actually try for my neck with an axe.
ね、セイバーだってそう思うでしょ？原因はセイバーだとは思うんだけど、それにしたって不死身すぎるっていうか。
は、シローの治癒能力はシローのものではないのですか？
been said many times that that's the case.
そんなわけないじゃない。教科の一つ覚えのシローがそんな高等技術をマスターしてると思う？
That doesn't even matter, because even if he was the greatest healing mage on Earth, it's implied that that still wouldn't be enough. Like,
こいつのデタラメぶりは間違いなくあなたとつながってるからよ。セイバーの自己回復能力がそのままシローに流れてるんじゃない？
そうなのでしょうか。今までそのようなつながりは感じませんでしたが、それならば今も私の魔力はシローに流れていなければおかしいですし、第一、私の自然治癒はシローほど強くはあります。
セイバー、どうしたの？いきなり青ざめた顔しちゃって。
okay, I'm gonna take a short break. I think this is a good spot to stop on. And I think that this makes it pretty clear that unless something surprising happens, I'm going to say that we're only going to get to the end of this day. As silly as that is. But like this, I didn't think there was going to be a whole another hour for this night. Like, oh yeah, it's going to be a little long, but like this long? And I say an hour, but we're more than an hour out into this day. And we still got more talking. I wouldn't be surprised if we got at least 30 more minutes maybe. But yeah, I'll be right back.
White, black, red, blue, yellow, green, white, black, red, blue, yellow, green, white, black, white, black, red, blue, yellow, green, white, black, red, blue, yellow, green, white, black, red,
Okay, it's time for the revelations. The truth. Which probably should have been figured out like a few days ago, honestly. But okay, we'll see. Saber stares off into space, apparently not even hearing Tosaka.
まさかそんなはずは。
Saber shakes her head and looks down. Hmm? Tosaka and I exchange looks. This could also be the night where she talks about what happened in the last Holy Grail War. We will see. We will see. Saber is acting weird. Actually, I know why. Ever since that Golden Knight appeared, Saber's been pretty down.
まあ、シロのことは保留にしておきましょう。それよりセイバー、 あなたさっきのやつと顔見知りだったの？あの金ピカセイバーが自分のものだとか言ってたけど。
Saber doesn't answer. She obviously doesn't want to talk about it. Well, talk about it. Literally tell us. You have no reason not to tell us. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. Oh, come on. Like, sheesh. Tosaka's asking the questions I want answers to. Saber, if you know, then tell us. Who was that guy? You called him Archer.
はい、認めたくはありませんが、私は彼を知っています。ですがそれはありえない。サーバントは7人だけです。彼が召喚されるはずがない。
Servant, so he really is a servant. That's pretty obvious. That could be a real problem for us.
彼のクラスはアーチャーです。もちろん、リンが契約したアーチャーとは全く別の英霊で、その能力も英雄としての気質もあまりに違い
He's
ま
a
す。
different person, yeah. You don't need to mention his abilities and temperament. He's a different person. I can tell. I only saw him briefly, but it was more than enough to get a sense of what a monster he is.
ちょっと待って、おかしいわよそれ。あいつがアーチャーのサーバントならそれで8人目よ。
What? There's never more than 7 servants in a Holy Grail War.
一つの期間で召喚できるサーバントは7人が限度のはずでしょ。数が減ったから補充するなんてことは絶対にない。そもそも7人以上の召喚は聖杯だって魔力が持たないわ。
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, is that true? Okay. Yeah, it is. It is.
サーバントが7人っていうのはそれが一度に呼び出せる限度数だからでしょ。なら8人目はどうしたって呼び出す。
I mean,
待った。
it's already been mentioned before that if a servant wins, they can stay on, you know, they can have a real body and stay on, yeah, stay summoned, basically. It's already been stated. Like, I don't know why it wouldn't just be thought of immediately. I mean, obviously she's going to think of it right here, but I'm just saying it's like, who said that he was summoned? Like, we already know that he's from the last war, since she clearly has history with him, so you know, there's no reason to believe that he's from King Arthur's time, so therefore he'd have to come from a previous war, and therefore...
セイバー、あなた前回の戦いであいつと出会ったの？
freaking...
その通りです。
Yeah.
リン。前回の聖杯戦争における最後の一日、火の海の中で私は彼と戦った。
So it's weird, they retconned this. This is actually 100% without a doubt a retcon. Because what actually happened was that she fought him right before the Sea of Fire. Now, I don't know why they changed this detail. I think part of the problem is that the writer of Fate Zero didn't follow the blueprint, basically. Like, you just need to be like, where's the plot points about everything we know about the last Holy Grail War? He should have just had like a list of like 10 things or something. Like, we know almost nothing. All we know about is Kiritsugu, this one other person, Archer. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'll say Ilya's mom. Tosaka's dad, which we know almost nothing about it. I think we will never learn more about Tosaka's dad. I think we know everything we will ever know about him, so that's silly. I think that's it. I think that's all that was confirmed. Like, I mean, that's all that we know for sure right now. I mean, there are a few other plot points, but like, those are the main ones. So like, on the final day, I fought him in the Sea of Fire. Like, how was that not one of the plot points? You know, like, the order of what happened at the end of the war seems like that would really matter. But I don't really know how that would work on the order of events, admittedly. For a moment, my entire body tenses. Saber fought in a Sea of Fire? Dun dun dun. This is nothing new. We already knew Wait, did we know Kiritsugu was in the last war? I mean, it's so second nature, my knowledge of it, that like, that I just know, right? But it's also worth noting I think that you should be able to infer based on the information we have here in this route alone that the Sea of Fire and that park are the same location, and that happened 10 years ago, and the last war was 10 years ago when Tosaka's father left and died. Like all these events line up on at the same time. So it's like, okay, well, clearly that fire was due to, I mean, actually they even stated, yeah, that the fire was created due to the last war, and then we know that Saber was in the last war. So at this point we just don't know why there was a big fire. I already heard from Kodomina that the fire was caused by the Holy Grail War, so it shouldn't be a surprise. Yeah, I've been trying not to think about it all this time, even though the reader, I feel like, would be like, I'm desperate for the crumbs. Give me crumbs of what the lore is. Give me anything about, like, just normal information that somebody would ask on day one. And, like, nah. Nah, Shiro's so busy. He's got to go to school, man. Like, freaking stupid. But yeah, like, we're not even asking, like, what happens, for instance, when you give up yourself to Kodomine. You know, oh, the church will protect you. Okay, so you go to the church, and then what? You just live and sleep at the church for days and days and days. Imagine losing on day 3 and just hanging out at the church for at least 11 days. Like, how does that work? You can't leave the church. So what? Kodomina's just got to bring food for you often, and then hope that a servant doesn't just come to the church and just kill you or something. Like, what the heck? You know, like, it's so weird. Like, I don't understand that part. There's just so many basic info that Shiro never asked. So what? Did you beat him? I mean, I thought we already know that Saber didn't win the last Grail War. Actually, it's never been mentioned who won, but I mean, it can be assumed that she didn't win, obviously. Well, we'll see if she says that he won.
倒してはいません。いいえ、倒すことはできなかった。なぜなら私は逆にあいつに任された。今回とは違う。きちんと召喚されて敵なしだったあなたが勝てなかった相手ね。
Saber hangs her head but doesn't answer. And that's enough. That's answer enough. Except it isn't, because she actually did beat him in Fate Zero. So I don't know. What the heck? I think she just doesn't have... I would say it'd be very reasonable if she doesn't know. You know, she doesn't have memories of what happened at the very last 2 seconds of the war. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what the lore is here. The official lore. Saber couldn't win? Not this imperfect Saber, hobbled by my weakness, but Saber with nothing holding her back? Is that even possible? If you consider her expressly in terms of her strengths as a swordsman, Saber isn't invincible. She was weaker than Berserker. But Saber has her noble phantasm. The other noble servants' noble phantasms are powerful, but Saber's exceeds them all. It's hard to believe there could be a hero in this world that her sacred sword can't defeat. I mean, she could have just ran out of energy at the end, by the way. Like, maybe she used her noble phantasm like twice or something and then had to fight him or something, you know? Like, we don't know. Based on this info. There's only one explanation, guys. As usual, Rin knows there's only one explanation. Except when there's more explanations. But don't worry about those, because there's only one explanation. Remember when there was only one choice that you could make? Either and that one choice was force Saber to kill people to get magical energy. And then a few days later, Rin's like, oh, right, we could just like put your magic circuits in her. Oh right, we could do that. Like I understand that that's like beyond a last resort, but like it's stupid that she didn't even bring it up, right? She just likes to be like, there's only these two options. I'm not going to mention the other options that aren't these two options, but there's only these two options.
あいつ今回の戦いで呼ばれたサーバントじゃなくて前回からそのまま残ったサーバントなんじゃない？そうでなければ辻褄が合わないもの。
I don't know why Saber can't just talk here. Gah, my mind stopped working. It's not that I agree with Tosaka's assessment, but she's just described what I've been hoping could be possible since yesterday.
ですがそれはですがも何もないわ。それ以外に説明がつかないんだから。一度の聖杯戦争で呼び出せるのは7人だけ。それ以外のサーバントがいるとしたら
Yeah, you're right. There's a heavy silence. Shut up, Rin. Yet, why does Tosaka look so pleased? Tosaka, why do you look happy?
当然じゃない。だって前例がいてくれたのよ。あいつが何者か知らないけど、要するに前回の戦いで最後まで勝ち残ったサーバントなんでしょ？
No. I'll just say no, but don't worry about it.
ならあいつは聖杯を手に入れたのよ。で、その恩恵でずっと世界に残ってる。
Don't worry about it.
つまり聖杯さえ手に入れればサーバントを世界に留めておけるっていう見本じゃない。あいつをとっ捕まえて詳しい話を聞きたいぐらいよ。
She sounds so stupid. I'd like to capture him, something completely inconceivable, and question him for more information. What information? Like, was it ever in doubt that a servant could stay indefinitely? I thought it was always assumed that that was perfectly reasonable. Does Rin not believe in the power of the Holy Grail? I mean, she's already stupid because she doesn't know why her family has been involved in the Holy Grail for hundreds of years. I mean, I understand that she doesn't know all of the family secrets, but like, it's absurd that this was never brought up at all. Even though, like, you hear this from many other mages, what the goal is. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Tosaka. I don't know who the heck that guy is, but he's a servant, and he's remained in this world since the previous war, which means there's a way for Saber to do the same.
あいつが何者で何が目的かは不明だけど、倒すべき敵には変わりなさそうね。
I would just like to mention that Saber has already said that her dream is just to undo her choice of pulling the sacred sword from the stone. So she has no interest in whatever the heck you guys are talking about. Yeah, he's an enemy.
セイバー、それであいつの正体は何なの？
Well, she knows.
それがわからないの
What?
です。前回の戦いでも、私は最後まで彼の正体がつかめなかった。
Is this a retcon? I'm gonna have to look this up. Because I think in the anime, at least, you know, admittedly, I never read the books. I would love to read the books, but I've never read the books. Or the book. There's a book of Fate Zero, but I think it's entirely, you'd have to have fan translation. And then there's a couple mangas, which I am actually trying to get. I think I've only been able to find like 2 of them. I don't want to spend like $20 per book or something. I think there's at least 7 or 8 books or something. I don't know. Or maybe 10. Anyway, I thought that she should know his name.
あの英雄にはシンボルとなる宝具が存在しなかった。
That's not true. He didn't. He didn't have a noble phantasm that made it clear who he was. That's ridiculous. A servant who doesn't have a noble phantasm wouldn't be a servant, right? I mean, more accurately, she's saying that he couldn't be. He used his noble phantasm and he couldn't be identified based on it. Besides, he just.
そうよ、さっき山ほど使ってたじゃない。あれだけあれば正体を探るなんて造作もないでしょ。宝具の形状から該当する英雄を探せばいいんだから。
It's kind of a weird thing to say, but sure. I don't know why they're always so stuck on the way that he does his stuff. It's like, it's very clearly a conceptual thing. He threw dozens of weapons. It is obviously clear that none of those weapons would be his Noble Phantasm, and yet they're gonna act like it's such a grand, dramatic reveal. It's like, no, what are you talking about? He was swinging them like they were rocks, man, like, or arrows or whatever. Like, he clearly doesn't view them as his weapons. But
では聞きますが、リンは先ほどの宝具に一つでも見覚えはありましたか？そんなの当然じゃない。
Kosaka thinks hard for a moment. She folds her arms over her chest, frowning, and then just tilts her head in confusion.
嘘。そんなはずない。
Huh? What's going on, Tosaka? What's impossible?
信じられない。あの血に濡れてたのは多分ダインスレフで、鎌っぽいのはハルペイよね。
Why would you be able to recognize these? I don't even know what Dainsleif and Harpy is. Never heard of these. Like, okay.
なんか中華っぽいやつもあったし、お不動産のあれもあったような。
I don't know what a call it is. Tosaka looks almost crazed as she mutters to herself. She looks a bit like she's tumbling down a rabbit hole.
あれなんかセーバーの剣に似てたけど別物のはずよ。ああいう素朴なデザインは北欧っぽかったし、そういえば大抵の魔剣の原型って北欧だって話だけど。
She's even starting to grind her teeth. Hey, Tosaka. Leaving her to her own devices will do more harm than good. If I don't stop her right now, we'll wind up paying the price later. Especially me. Tosaka, come back to us!
ああ、もう黙っててよ、シロ。あんたがちゃちゃ入れるから頭が混乱してきたじゃない。
I'm not trying to butt in. You're talking about that guy's Noble Phantasm, right? Judging just from their shapes, there was Dainsleif, Harpy, Durandal, Vajra, frequent from India, Khaled Bolg, and Gay Bolg. That is a weird one. Though I would like to mention, there are dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of Gay Bolgs. I won't explain, but it's funny that they're like, oh, but it's so unique. It's like it's actually easily the least unique of them all, but okay. I actually don't know what Khaled Bolg is, though. The rest are, well, I don't know Dainsleif or Harpy either. But why is Shiro acting like he recognized them, though? I don't know the Chinese one, but I think I covered all the famous ones. Wait, which one was the Chinese one? Vajra is not Chinese. It's India. Khaled Bolg? I don't know. Oh, right. Those were the ones he recognized. Right?
それ合ってる。
I don't love the face she's making. It leaves me feeling even worse. I don't know much, but I just blurted out what leapt into my head.
けど、それってどういうことよ。そんなデタラメな数の宝具を持ってる英雄なんていないわ。いえ、そもそも出典がごちゃ混ぜで、もう何が何だか。ええ、ですから私も彼の正体はわからなかった。英雄の証となる宝具をあの男は湯水のように持っているのです。あまりにも数がありすぎるため、アーチャーの正体を絞り込むことはできなかった。
It is possible that Saber's master didn't tell her that he figured it out. And it does seem like Archer didn't use his actual Noble Phantasm on Saber. I think that is true based on what I saw in Fate Zero. So that is interesting. The two look perplexed. Well, with so many noble phantasms, we have no hope of determining who he is. It's like hiding a leaf in a forest.
シロ、あんたなんかないの？
Tosaka, obviously annoyed, glares at me, expecting, I'm not sure what. She's just taking her frustrations out on me, I guess. If I didn't know anything, I would say it's a servant who collected many noble phantasms when he was alive. Is there any other explanation? I think that's it. I don't think that there would be any other explanation. So like they should be able to figure it out based on that. I mean, they should be more concerned about the fact that he just was flinging them the way he was, and that they were coming out of weird portal things. Like what?
だから気づいたこととか推理とか、とにかく瞬間的なひらめきよ。私たちに必要なものは意外性のある意見なの。行き詰まった事態を解決するのは偶然だけなんだから。
Sheer luck. She may be right. Haha, I get it. You're making fun of me.
失礼ね。戦力外だと思ってるだけよ。ね、どうなの？
I've got nothing. I raise my hands up in surrender. Tosaka groans.
となると結論は一つね。セイバー、あいつが使ってた宝具はみんな偽物だと思わない？そうでもなければ説明がつかないでしょ？
Why would they assume they're fake, though? Why is that the only explanation? Why is it unbelievable that they would all be real? Oh, I mean, well, they are fake in a way, to be fair. I mean, they're all just the swords without actually using them.
同意見です。ですが。
Huh? They weren't fakes. How did I figure that out? Besides, fake noble phantasms wouldn't have harmed Castor. We don't know that. I mean, we don't really know anything about them. I mean, the noble phantasm swords, like, we don't even know why they're able to go through Castor's shield, really.
ふん。エミヤ君、その根拠は？
I'm just saying they were real. Actually, everything else seemed fake. What does everything else mean?
は？
His armor was real. It's intuition. I can't explain it, but those were all real. Lancer's Gaebolg is real, of course, but the spear the other guy used is also the real Gaebolg. What? Her making that face doesn't explaining this any easier. Doesn't help that I have no idea how I know this. I just know all his noble phantasms are real. I can feel it. Maybe it's because I used projection during our battle against Berserker. After seeing all those noble phantasms, I can tell they're all real. A great weapon is imbued with specific concepts, while imitations lack something. I learned that much when I replicated Saber's sword. Yeah, but you would think you can't see it on sight. Like, maybe if you touch it, sure, but on sight? In the middle of combat when they're moving that fast? In that regard, I think all the noble phantasms that servant had were perfect.
まあ、シローの発言はとりあえず置いておいて。
Let's ignore the piece of information that we can actually take seriously right now.
あいつの正体がわからない以上、次は目的なんだけど。
So this is stupid. They literally just got their breakthrough that they were asking for, and then they're like, "So about what he said, screw that crap. We don't know who that guy is." Like, you had another point on the graph to figure it out, and you just gave up. Tosaka sneaks a glance at Saber.
あいつも聖杯を狙ってるのは当然として、気になる点がもう一つあるのよね。セイバー、はっきり聞いていいかしら。
Why does she always have that mischievous look when it comes to topics like this? Maybe ask her anything about the previous Holy Grail War. I don't know why we didn't learn everything in this moment.
それはどういう意味でしょうか、リン。尋ねたいことがあるのならば、遠慮することはありませんが。
They didn't even ask, like, hey, who was Archer's master in the last war? Never asked.
なら聞くけど、セイバーはあいつをどう思ってるの？あいつの言いぶりからすると、どうもセイバーにお熱のようだったけど。
I'm not following Tosaka's lead, but I also sneak a glance towards Saber. I don't think Tosaka has it wrong. He seemed obsessed with Saber. Actually, it's beyond being obsessed. From the very beginning, he only saw Saber as his possession.
彼が何を考えているかなど、
私の知るところではありません。ですが、前回の戦いの折、求婚された覚えはあります。無論、剣と共に切って捨てましたが。
Propose? You mean that kind of propose? Why? What the heck is that servant thinking? It's almost like this would be somehow related to his legend, perhaps. Oh, don't worry about it, I guess.
この場合喜ぶべきか微妙だけど、それなりに悪い気はしないんじゃない？サーバントになってからも求愛されるなんて女冥利に尽きるってもんじゃない。そのようなことはありません。もとより私にそんな自由はない。私の目的は聖杯を手に入れることです。正直あのようなざれ言は勘に触ります。そう？セイバーはそうでも、あいつはかなりご執心だったじゃない。あの手のタイプはね、相手が断っても一向に答えないんだから。セイバーも頑固だし、いっそああいうやつの方がお似合いかもよ。
Tosaka's being irresponsible, so I'm not sure why she looks so amused. Tosaka looks like she's happy to have a conversation like this with Saber, even though Saber seems disinterested.
ですからそのようなことに関心はないと言っているでしょう。彼は確かに優れた英霊ですが、私とは考え方が違いすぎる。
Oh, right. Okay, no, I just remembered. So Saber is the king of the king of knights, but the other guy is the king of heroes. The difference between these two things are very minor, honestly, but it is worth noting. King of knights, king of heroes. And Saber's responses are at least sincere.
へえ、だってさシロ、セイバーは男なんて関心がないんだって。安心した？リン、今のはシロには関係のない話だと思います。今の発言はどこかおかしい。でしょうね。今のは私の失言だったわ。けど何がおかしいのかって、おかしいことがおかしいわけ。
What kind of personality or vibe is Rin giving off when she does this stuff? Is it supposed to be that she's like a gossiping hen or something? Or is it supposed to be that she's like a hopeless romantic or something? Because she just feels like she's getting like annoyingly personal about something that literally doesn't matter. Like they're in a life or death war and she's like, "Hoo, you like him or you like her," and it's like, can you please shut up? Like, why does it matter right now? It's like, ha ha ha. Like, I don't know why she's so happy about it. Why she's so, I don't know. Tosaka laughs menacingly. Her eyes make it clear she's laughing at me as much as Saber. I don't know what's pissing me off, but I get up without a word.
ちょっとどこ行くのよシロ。
Tea, I'm getting thirsty, and I figured I'd prepare tea for everyone. I huff and head toward the kitchen. I don't know why, but I'm just irritated, so I decide to make super bitter tea for Tosaka.
それじゃあとりあえず部屋に戻るわ。込み入った話は明日イリアが起きてからにしましょう。
After teasing Saber for a good while, Tosaka gulps down her bitter tea and gets up. Yeah, go to sleep. Don't come back here.
はいはい。それじゃああとはよろしくね。
I don't know why she's so amused, but Tosaka's mood seems good even as she turns back to the outbuilding.
シロはどうするのです？傷が癒えたと言っても無理は禁物ですから、今夜は休むべきではないでしょうか。
You didn't mention anything about his healing. I thought they were going to actually say something. Yeah, I intend to. I'm going to watch Ilya a little more. If she seems alright, I'll take her to the spare room and then I'll go to bed too.
そうですか。それではそれまで私も付き添います。
And that's where our conversation ends. Tosaka was the one making all the noise, so it's gotten awkward now that it's quiet. Well, it's not that it's awkward. I'm anxious because there's so many questions rattling around in my head and so many things I want to say. What are the questions? Say one thing. Like what? Come to think of it, I haven't really been able to talk to Saber. You literally can talk to her right now. About the Holy Grail, about her not being dead, about how even if she obtains the Holy Grail, there is no salvation for her. What's that mean? If she obtains the Holy Grail, there's no salvation for her? Her salvation is wanting to grant her wish. That's it. The not being dead part, I don't even know. I don't even think this matters at all. Like, ooh, it's so interesting and unique. And it's like, so the weird part, well, wait, oh yeah. You know, it is funny. This actually never, I don't think this was ever brought up in Fate Zero. But yeah, I thought that she could go into the invisible form. But yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I guess not. There's no need to explain why. She still doesn't have a wish for herself. Ugh. I mean, I guess technically. I mean, the wish for herself in this situation is that she feels she failed in her duties. So she wants to undo her mistake. That is a wish for herself. She wants to undo her failure by creating a solution that will create a better outcome. That's not a wish for herself. Yeah, I was like kind of thinking like I gotta rewatch Fate Zero and check like how often does she not go immaterial like because I thought that maybe I just was remembering things wrong, but I thought it was just that she wanted to like experience a plane ride. She wanted to experience driving a car or driving a motorcycle. I thought that was the case, but like I guess maybe it was like, oh, I can't make myself go invisible, so I might as well do that. I think maybe was actually what was going on there. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier about Fate Zero being written by somebody else, and like I was thinking that there should only be like 10 plot points that they needed to follow, because it gets mentioned, and I remember hearing this before, that Saber and Archer fought in the middle of the fire, the Inferno, and that didn't happen in Fate Zero. So I assume that they just forgot to tell the writer that had to happen. No, actually I didn't. I was gonna look at it right at the end of the of this section. Wait a second. It was a really, really loud noise on my end. But no, I was gonna look at that all that stuff at the end of this night. I assume it's about to reach the end of the night here. Saber, about our conversation earlier. Our eyes meet. Hers tell me that she knows what I want to say.
はい。何でしょうか、シロ。
She tries to divert what I have to say with her quiet tone, but I have to talk to her. I said about our earlier conversation, Tosaka said servants can stay in this world if they obtain the Holy Grail, so...
いいえ、私は残るつもりはありません。聖杯を手に入れれば、元の私に戻るだけです。
So you're going to redo the selection of the king. Rather than saving yourself from the brink of death, you want to start over from the very beginning.
はい。国を守るのは王の責務です。私の力が及ばなかったのですから、せめてふさわしい王を選び直さなければなりません。
I mean, admittedly, if you're told that you are, you know, I've never actually thought of it this way, but if you're told that you are the chosen king, the fated king that will save Britain, and then you die as Britain is in the middle of a civil war, it does sound like you failed. So actually, it does make perfect sense why she would say that. But then, yeah, I mean, this is the part where you think, wait, what happened after that? And then you learn the history of the hundreds and thousand years after that, and then you think, oh, well, maybe that wasn't that bad of an outcome. But yeah, again, like in her time period, yeah, it's like for a chosen king, I sure didn't really have quite a unifying effect at the end of my reign, you know. She says this like she's talking about a stranger. For some reason, I get real mad. Baka, wake up. To hell with the king's duty. What matters is that you're here, so you should do what you want to do. That's stupid to say that. It's like, you do know that I, like, literally picked up the sword specifically to fulfill this duty, right? Like, that's literally what I dedicated my entire life to do. You're strong, right? Then finish off this war right now. Get your holy grail and quit being a servant. If you have a wish, don't use it to go back in time and redo everything. If you want to change, don't change your past self, but find a way to change now. Then return to the past from here. I don't even know. Okay. Saber doesn't, I don't even know what he just said. Saber doesn't answer. She sighs.
シロ、しつこいです。その話はもうやめてほしい。
She rejects what I said outright.
それに聖杯があればこの時代に残れるというわけではありません。アーチャー、あのサーバントは聖杯を手に入れたから残っているわけではない。なぜなら前回の戦いで聖杯を得られるはずがないのですから。
Okay. Now I will say information I should have said in front of Ren for no reason. Oh, what do you mean?
ないものは手に入れようがないでしょう。あの日、町が炎に包まれた時、聖杯は破壊されたのです。私を裏切ったマスター、エミやキリツグによって。
Yeah, finally we're getting the lore. I knew they were gonna drop it today or tomorrow in game, but yeah. What? The edges of my vision go dark. I nearly fall backwards, but catch myself with both hands. Kiritsugu, Emiya.
はい。10年前、前回の聖杯戦争における私のマスターは彼でした。私とキリツグは最後まで勝ち残り、聖杯はキリツグの手に渡った。
Well, that didn't really happen at all, but okay. in the Fate Zero anime. Yeah, that's not. I mean, metaphorically, kinda. Archer and his master were.
マスターはまだ残っていましたから、あとは彼らを倒すだけで聖杯戦争は終了するはずだった。ですが、キリツグは聖杯を捨てたのです。その結果、町は火に包まれました。あの男は私に命じて聖杯を破壊させた。聖杯に触れられるのはサーバントだけですから。
The Holy Grail was in Kiritsugu's hands. Servants are the only ones capable of touching it. So we were talking metaphorically, apparently. How do they screw up this badly, man? Like, sheesh. They're right next. They're practically right next to each other. Okay. Well, we are okay. Then the Fate Zero anime did follow this. Then close enough for sure.
キリツグは最後の霊樹を使って私の手で強制的に聖杯を破壊させたのです。聖杯が失われてはサーバントはこの世にとどまれない。キリツグも私をとどめようとは思わなかった。私の記憶はそこまでです。あのアーチャーとの決着も私を裏切ったキリツグを問いただすこともできなかった。
Huh. Maybe this is more accurate to Fate Zero than I was first thinking. It's just confusing because then, so we have this being fed here, and this all follows the Fate Zero anime. But then I guess it was only that one line where they say, "I fought Archer in the in the Inferno." But obviously, based on what we see here, that line makes no sense, because she says that she had the Grail with Kiritsugu, and then they were facing off against Archer and the Archer's master, and then she was told to destroy the Grail, which caused her to not continue her fight with Archer. But also the destruction of the Grail, she even admits, is what caused the Inferno. Yeah, because like with the Grail gone, servants could not remain in this world. So destroyed the Grail, she disappeared. This follows Fate Zero. I mean, there wasn't much of a battle, but that was a choice. That's fine. Yeah. Kiritsugu abandoned the Grail. As a result, the town was consumed in flames. Yeah. So it does seem like only that one line is just wrong. Now it feels like that one line was just like, oh, it was so interesting. Like, they were doing this crazy servant battle in the middle of this apocalyptic inferno. Oh, that's so cool. But then they're like, oh, well, but we had the Grail, but then we destroyed the Grail, and then that caused a fire. But then I couldn't continue fighting. But wait, but what? So after all of this information we just got right here, it turns out that only the one line about her fighting Archer in the Inferno is actually the plot hole in this, the inconsistency based on what I just saw. But I don't know. I'm sure that there's some other inconsistency that I'm not keeping track of that I missed. It's not like I never thought about it. My old man was a mage. If he lived in this town, he could have been involved in a Holy Grail war. But still, why didn't you tell me, Saber? Why didn't you tell me my old man was a master? Yeah, I was trying to remember. It's like, why didn't she tell him? It's gonna be something stupid like, well, it wasn't important.
通常サーバントというのは以前の記憶など持ちませんし、同じ英霊がサーバントとして召喚されることもない。私はサーバントとしては異例です。ですからこの件に関しては口に出すべきではないと判断したのです。
No reason so far.
それにシローにはキリツグがどんなマスターだったのかを語るのは気が進まなかった。
Why? Why not? Huh? Why didn't you want to tell me?
シロー、あなたが私の過去を夢見たように私もあなたの過去を見てしまった。あなたのことにも驚きましたが、キリツグの変わりようも私には信じられなかった。
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is implied. So the difference in Kiritsugu is already being implied. But I mean, we also can infer based on everything that we know just in this route alone that Kiritsugu was, sad that he had caused the Inferno to happen and was happy that he found somebody who had survived. So, like, just based on that, we do know that much. I still think that she should have brought it up, though. I still feel like she should just be like, hey, in the last war, I was your old man's servant. This is what happened in the last war. She would describe it. I guess that's it. I guess that's it. She doesn't need to, like, it's like, okay, I don't want to slander your father. Okay, sure. But you don't need to slander him. I mean, you could still mention the events that happened around him, technically. Although, like, yeah, it does make you wonder, like, if she actually did mention everything that Kiritsugu did in the last war, would this just, like... I feel like that would just shatter Shiro's mind, right? like thinking mostly about what happened with El Malloy. It is interesting, though, that Rin's father wasn't brought up at all. Like, since we already know he was in the war, it's like, I wonder what route they will mention anything about him. Because, again, as far as I'm aware, I don't remember them ever mentioning something about him in these 3 routes. But maybe a little bit in Heaven's Feel, though.
シロの記憶にいるエミヤキリツグは立派な人物です。
Nothing like the man I
ですが
remember.
私の記憶にある彼はそのような人物ではなかった。一言で言ってしまえば彼は典型的な魔術師だった。己が目的にしか興味はなく、阻むものは何であろうと排除する。およそ人間らしい感情など彼には見当たらなかった。
The only way that the writer could figure out how to do this was basically by having them only meet like 3 times or something. Probably a good choice, honestly. It's like, how do you show Kiritsugu just never showing emotion? Oh, I know, just have her never see him, because like he's showing plenty of emotions actually in Fate Zero. Plenty of stuff's going down. It's just like off screen from Saber's perspective. Oh wow, I was right. I was right about the 3 times. Because yeah, I knew it was when she was summoned at the end. I don't know if she's gonna mention this the second time. I think no. Would the second time have been? I don't think it was. I was thinking for a second maybe it was during the caster fight, but no, it was probably after everything with Iris Feel. Wait, why? I do not think I need to explain those 3 occasions. Why?
残忍というわけではなかったし、殺人鬼というわけでもなかった。けれど、彼には情というものが存在しなかった。キリツグが私を道具として扱ったように、彼本人もまた自身を道具としてしか見ていなかった。
But she isn't going to say what his goal was. His wish for the Grail.
キリツグはあらゆる感情を殺し、あらゆる敵を殺した。そこまでして信じたものが何であったのかは、私にはわからない。ただ、その目的であった聖杯を前にして、彼は私に破壊を命じた。
Yeah, thinking back on Fate Zero, this line right here makes me think, like, from Saber's perspective, she didn't even know what the plot of Fate Zero was. I don't know. That would be very interesting to look at Fate Zero from Saber's perspective only. And it's like, she knows so little, it's absurd, probably. Because, like I said, I was like, wait, how did she not know who Archer was? Like, I'm pretty confident that Kiritsugu knew who Archer was. So it's like, huh, that's weird. Very weird.
告白すれば、あの時ほどレイジの存在を呪ったことも、私を裏切った相手を呪ったこともありません。
There's truth in Saber's words. No, they must all be true. I realized I knew nothing about what Kiritsugu was like before I met him. There was no way for me to find out what kind of person he'd been before that, and there was no need. Even if Kiritsugu Emiya was cold-hearted, it wouldn't change a thing. The man who adopted Shiro Emiya as his son was so much warmer. That's the only truth about him to me. But what nags at me is, if Kiritsugu truly was so ruthless, then his final moments were just too empty and futile. I see, then maybe I was able to summon you because I'm Kiritsugu's son.
わかりません。 キリツグは正規の手順で私を呼び寄せました。マスターとしての適性が高かったキリツグは歴史のある魔術師の家系に雇われ聖杯戦争に参加した。
Well, this is definitely a retcon, kinda. Like a mage family. It's the freaking Einsburns, man. How the heck would she not say the Einsburns? Just saying a mage family. Isn't Ilya in the room with us right now? Is this the retcon that like maybe Nasu never even thought that he was working for the Einsburns?
マスターとしての準備はその家系が全て揃えたと言います。彼らは私の遺品をコーンウォールから発掘し、キリツグに委ねて聖杯戦争に臨ませた。キリツグはそれを触媒にして私を召喚したのです。
Yeah, okay. So we are getting it, the explanation here.
ですからキリツグ本人には私を呼び寄せる因子もなければ属性が近いというわけでもありません。シローが私を引き寄せたのは何か別の力が働いたからでしょう。
That is true. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So yeah, they have already laid the seeds of Ilya calling him brother. Although again, like I don't think that they. Well, I mean, I'll see when I watch the other routes on my own, but like I don't know how much they go into Ilya's backstory on the events that happened in Fate Zero. I know I've heard that the anime actually added some stuff about Angra Mainyu showing up in front of her. So I have no idea what that would actually be like in the original version. Yeah, you know, that would be interesting. Actually, that could have been way more cool if like he actually just meets Iris Veal during the war and then has Ilya. No, that wouldn't work though. Even within the context of that, Iris Veal was always, even if that had happened, Iris Veal was always going to be the vessel. So you know there would have been no time for something like that for Ilya to be born. So yeah, okay, yeah, that wasn't very retconny. Okay. Man, that's actually kind of a weirdly deep backstory, considering I don't think that Kiritsugu has like a very well established lore at this point in the story. I don't think they're gonna mention anything about his guns, or who he killed, or his childhood. So in all of these routes, I don't think any of that will be mentioned. I think the only thing that will be mentioned is, for some reason, at some point, he goes to the Einsburns, gets to know them, ends up having a kid with Ilya, or a kid as Ilya. He ends up having Ilya, and then he goes to the war. Is all we know. I actually, yeah. Will they even mention Iris Veal? I don't know. They sure haven't so far. It feels like even Ilya is like so focused on Kiritsugu. I don't know if she's implied anything about Iris Veal. I think Iris Veal might be a 100% Fate Zero character. Just a kind of a blank slate that they just didn't bother going into at all in the original Fate Stay Night. I got it. I'm not that surprised my old man was a master. What does surprise me is that his servant is the same King Arthur with me now. And one more thing. Saber said that the Holy Grail was destroyed. Then maybe this war is meaningless to begin with. I don't get it. You already knew there's no Holy Grail, right? So why did you decide to join this ridiculous war?
確かに聖杯の有無は私には分かりません。けれど私が呼ばれた以上、聖杯はなければおかしい。
Wait. So, Okay, so he doesn't understand how the Grail works. Okay. I'm like, wait, why did you say this, man? Like, but you destroyed the Grail. It's like, well, I mean, the Grail technically reforms every couple years and all that. So, or you know, every many years, but you know, it was complicated last time. I guess that's actually. I mean, we'll see if they ever mention it, but like, I assume that the time period between the last war and this war is the shortest because in the last war the Grail fully formed and was fully ready to go, fully ready to grant a wish, but then Saber destroyed it. Well, she didn't really destroy it, she just damaged it immensely. But since it's a you know, it's barely even a physical object, he mostly just like kind of blew it up and cause a catastrophe. But there was still a lot of mana that, I mean normally it would probably just disperse, but since you're in the city where there's going to be a Holy Grail eventually, it probably just like kind of went back into the ground and then maybe collected way faster than normal because it just kind of just got released into the ground basically. It's funny though that they don't mention how Kiritsugu and Saber are seemingly very close to each other at the end of the last war, and they have the Grail, you know, basically in their hand, and he tells her to destroy it, and that causes the big fire. But there's no explanation. Wait, how did Kiritsugu survive being so close to the Grail that causes this massive explosion? And it's funny because they don't even explain it in Fate Zero either, as far as I'm aware. So, you know, they don't even try to imply, well, maybe he could like create a shield or something to protect himself. And it's like, I don't remember hearing about anything about that.
忘れたのですか、シロ。私は聖杯を手に入れるためにサーバントになった。逆に言えば、聖杯がない場所に私は呼ばれないのです。
Oh yeah, but then does that mean a Holy Grail can fix itself after it's destroyed?
いいえ、聖杯はそう簡単に替えが利くものではない。一度壊れた聖杯が治ることなどないでしょう。
Technically. But then...
ですがあるはずです。サーバントは聖杯の磁力に惹かれて現れる。聖杯がなければ、サーバントは現れない。
I mean, this right here is just for original first-time readers being like, wait, that's kind of weird that you destroyed it. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Servants were summoned. They can only be summoned because of the Grail. So it exists. Don't worry about it.
それは、あの神父も語っていたのではありませんか。
The priest. Oh yeah, that guy. The guy living in the church. The overseer of the Holy Grail War. The man who's managing the Holy Grail should be able to answer all my questions. The end of the previous war and whereabouts of the destroyed Holy Grail. And how that archer is still around. And yeah, what did Kiritsugu see at the end of the battle that made him want to destroy the Holy Grail? So the next day, he's going to go to Kodamine, I guess. Is he? Yeah, I guess makes sense. But yeah, man, there's only two servants left, counting Archer. I wake up alone. Even if she's recovered, Saber still needs to sleep on occasion. The moment we return to our room, Saber immediately falls asleep. I went to bed as well, if only to make her feel better. That was about an hour ago. It's past midnight. I should be able to get out of the house without Saber or Tosaka noticing at this hour. Oh my fucking sheesh. Oh my gosh. Every time I give Shiro credit, I'm like, oh my gosh, what the hell is he doing? I sneak outside, try not to make a sound. Like, there is literally nothing stopping Lancer from just being like, hey, I've actually been watching you this whole time, and I see you do this bullshit. You're fucking dead, kid. 360 no scope right through your back, dude. I thought of using the bike, but I'd just run the risk of waking them up. Yeah, you know, I sure wouldn't want to wake Saber up. You know, don't want to waste her energy. So I walk. Oh my gosh. And then he walks too. This is making me nervous. Like, how much of this night is left? Yeah, I have to sneak out because I don't want to, like, bother people. Not a single person outside. It's late, but this silence is still eerie. The air is frozen, and there doesn't seem to be any sign of life in the building. On the other hand, it feels like something dark and sinister is swirling at my feet. Did something happen to the town while Ilya had me prisoner? It's like a bad omen hangs over the entire place. This isn't my imagination. I look up towards the mountain in the distance. Rito Temple, which stands at a distance away from town, only looks like a black lump from here. But then, it looks like it's swaying in the night air, rumbling and throbbing. I'm suddenly reminded, though, that in Fate Zero, it was mentioned that the highest concentration of ley lines was the municipal building and the temple. Well, maybe the bridge too, though, maybe. But I think it was just those three places. And the municipal building is where the finale of Zero happens. Across the dark river and walk into Shinto. Huh? So it's been 10 days? On that day, the night I met Saber for the first time and then walked across this bridge with Tosaka seems so long ago. Really? That was 10 days ago? I thought it was more than 10 days ago. I thought that was like 11 or 12. I see the church. I've never been here before. I may have said as much to Tosaka, but I did have a connection with that church. If things had gone differently, I would have ended up under the care of the church and then been adopted by some family later on. This is not true, but okay. It's like, wait, what? Is everybody in the city Christian or something? Like, what? Catholic specifically? Like surely you would go to a Japanese adoption service, right? Why would you go to the church for adoption? It would have been either the Emiya family or that church. One hell of a fork in the road. An interesting interpretation. Like, theoretically. Wait. Could this be possible? No. I don't think so. Maybe not. I don't know. I was just thinking, like, could that be the origin of Alter Emiya? Emiya Alter in the CCC event? That's how he became the way he did? But I don't know. I forget what the exact details on that is. 10 years ago, all the kids in that hospital were orphans. The church took them all in, at least temporarily. I was the only one in that group of orphans to be adopted from the hospital. Okay. Is this even relevant? Wait, maybe it is relevant. Wait, is this in Ataraxia? Is there a connection between those orphans and what's her name? What is her name? Oh, there it is. Karen. A little bit of a spoiler, slightly, but I'm not too concerned. Well, Karen Hortensia specifically, I should say. I'm just wondering, like... No, it's unrelated. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do remember some of the stuff about her birth now, slightly. So them mentioning these orphans just means nothing, I guess. That's probably why I've been unconsciously avoiding the church out of guilt. It's also why 11 days ago I told Tosaka it was my first time going to the church. But it was your first time going to the church, though, wasn't it? Like, what? You just said, this is the explanation for why I never went to the church. That's why I lied, that I had never been to the church. Like, what? The lights inside the church are on. I don't really like that priest, but there are things I need to ask him. Okay, let's go. Take a deep breath and put my hand on the heavy church doors. Okay. Is somebody going to be sitting down? Father Kodamine, are you here? I step inside as I call out for him. There's nobody in the chapel. The lights are on, but this vast space is so quiet. I find myself more nervous than if it were dark. Hey, is anyone here? No reply. Can't keep going any further. I might have to give up tonight. Gah. I whirl around when I hear a sound right behind me.
エミヤ四郎か。こんな時間に何の用だ。
The suddenness of his appearance leaves me speechless.
夜も更けた。あとは眠るだけだったのだが、その顔では懺悔の真似事でもしたかったと見えるな。エミヤ四郎。
Miyashiro. I had hoped to go to sleep, but I kept all the lights on in the entire church at past midnight. Kodamine sounds bored and turns back to the door he came through. Sounds bored? Doesn't he always sound bored, technically? Oh, hold on. I came here to ask you
そん
something.
なことは分かっている。時間外だからといって訪れたものを追い返すことなどせん。
As Kodamine says so, he opens the door to the back of the church.
ついてこい。話といっても聖杯戦争の件だろ。そんな血生臭い話をここでするわけにもいかん。
Okay, I want to throw out there that if I didn't know anything at all from this series, I would not say that this guy is suspicious at all. I know that's kind of crazy to say, but like he really isn't that suspicious. Other than Rin saying, "I hate that guy," there's like no real reason to mistrust this guy. But yeah. Kodamine doesn't bother asking my opinion, just disappears into the back of the church. I've come this far, can't go home empty-handed. I steel myself, determined not to let Kodamine intimidate me this time, and head toward the back of the church. Oh, well, yeah, well, I don't think this was in the anime. Whoa, the outside's impressive, but the inside is pretty intricate too. This must be a courtyard. Garden and the passageway are too magnificent for Kodamine to live here alone. I don't think you know what a church is, dude.
話をするのならこちらに来い。
The priest disappears around yet another corner. Damn, he's not waiting for me. Complain to myself as I chase after Kodamine. The church is a small labyrinth. Not really, but okay. So I don't have any choice but to follow Kodamine. Ooh. We enter a modest stone chamber. I would like to mention that I remember this room from Fate Zero. I remember this couch very well. This is a very interesting recreation that they did here in Fate Zero. We enter a modest stone chamber. This simple room, far from the elegance of that chapel and courtyard, must be Father Kodamine's private room.
もてなすものの一つもないが許せ。
Yeah, that's a pretty good perspective shot of him being just completely towering over him. The priest makes his apology as he plops down onto a sofa. I smell the faint aroma of what might be wine. For the smell to linger in this room, he must really like wine.
どうした？話があるのではなかったか。そこでほうけられていても迷惑だ。
Nobody's standing around like a fool. I was just looking around because this room seemed weird. I'm going to go home as soon as I finish my business here.
それは何より。私も子供に付き合うほど暇ではない。質問は手短にしてもらおう。
Gah, this priest really gets on my nerves. I feel like he's reading my mind, and whenever I try to deal with him directly, I just get intimidated.
それで話は何だ、エミヤシロ。 一応教えられることは全て教えたつもりだが。
Don't lie, you knew all along. You knew my old man was Saber's master and that the Holy Grail War was destroyed. The Holy Grail was destroyed. You're the overseer. Here the man is the Holy Grail. So you can't not know. Kind of weird to say that considering the previous war was 10 years ago and this guy is not that old.
ほう。セイバー自身がそう言ったのか。
Yeah, I heard that's how the last Holy Grail War ended. Priest falls silent, contemplating something.
サーバントが前回の記憶を受け継いでいるというのは異常だ。セイバーは故障しているのか。何せよ。通常のサーバントとは言えないな。英霊は記憶など持たない。過去、現在、未来。いかなる時代にも呼び出される連中に記憶があっては矛盾が生じる。
That is true.
奴らにあるものは生前の記録だけだ。死後英霊となってからの出来事は一切記憶されないはずだ。
I mean, if anything, it would be very, very weird. Well, maybe not though. I was gonna say it'd be very weird if Saber had actually been summoned like dozens of times. But then it occurred to me, well, as long as she like experienced each summon in alignment with the timeline of the world, I guess it wouldn't be that weird. It's once you start thinking of things outside of the realm of normal time space, you know, past, future, again, on all that. That's when it gets confusing. But as long as it's like from her perspective, no, she's just kind of waiting around in the afterlife, sort of, kind of. And then, okay, as time moves on, she's summoned. Okay, goes back. Summoned, goes back. As the future, you know, as time moves forward like normal. He ponders this as if he still isn't convinced. I get it. Fedaminen doesn't know Saber hasn't fully become a heroic spirit, so he can't truly understand the situation. That's not what's going on. Saber's circumstances are different from other servants.
事情が違う？なるほど。わざわざ訪れた要件はそれか。いいだろう。話してみろ。
His haughty attitude pisses me off, but I don't have time to deal with that too. I don't like it, but this man might be able to give me a clear explanation. It seems Saber isn't dead yet. Her contract to become a heroic spirit isn't complete. It appears she wished for the Holy Grail just as she was dying, and she agreed to become a heroic spirit as the price of obtaining it. So, see, she's not completely dead. She won't die until she obtains the Holy Grail, and that's when she'll become a servant in the normal sense.
死んでいない。では、セーバーはまだ輪廻の枠にとどまっているということか。他の英霊のように時間から外れたわけではないと。
I'm not sure why this is like dramatic or important at all, honestly. Maybe this will affect Kodamine in some unexpected way, though. Yeah, I think that's what it means. Tosaka said Saber's basically been carved out of time.
そうか。英霊のように事が済めば消えるのではなく、聖杯を手に入れるまでは英霊として駆り出されるということか。だが、あれは未だ聖杯を手に入れていないため、失敗するたびに死の直前にいる自身に戻ってしまう。そうして前回の記憶を持ったまま、今回も呼び出された。わざわざ死ぬために聖杯を求めるとは、英雄というのは分からぬな。そうして手に入れたところで、待っているのはサーバントとして刺激されることだけだろうに。
Her fate. Right, even if she gets the Holy Grail and has her wish granted, she'll just become another servant. I don't like that. Besides, what are servants? Say you use heroic spirits like familiars, but are there contradictory heroic spirits like Saber?
さあ、そのあたりのシステムなど知らんよ。魂の永続。その秘宝を真似て作られたのがサーバントシステムだ。こればかりは 立案者であった当時の人間しか知るまい。
Probably Einstein's. Permanence of the soul.
いや、もともとはそういうものだっただけという関係のないことだ。忘れろ。
Yeah, it's complicated and can't be explained really.
それでエミヤしろ。つまるところ、お前はあのセーバーをサーバントではなくしたいというのだな。
Is that what I want? I do think Saber's situation is messed up. Aiming for the Holy Grail is all well and good, but afterwards the only thing waiting for her is her disappearance. Even if someone other than King Arthur is chosen as king, and when King Arthur ceases to exist in our history, the hero King Arthur will continue to be used by who knows how many others, and that seems wrong to me. What? The hero King Arthur will continue to be used by who knows how many others? What's that mean? I guess the idea is if she wasn't made king, then people would just, there might be many pretenders from then on for many years to come. They're like, I won this tournament, so I'm King Arthur, or whatever. I'm the King of Britain, and then that person dies, and then the next person's like, I have this pedigree, so I'm the King of England, and then they die, and stuff like that maybe happens for many times. In fact, maybe somehow like Britain gets ruined that way because like they don't have a solid foundation for their country, because that was what, at the end of the day, that is what King Arthur did, like created a foundation for like a goal of what the government and the people expect from their land, kind of. So yeah, like it wouldn't be a proper country if King Arthur didn't exist. Which is actually a good thing, because Britain is a hellscape. But other than that part, it sounds all noble and good. But ignore the modern, the last 100 years of Britain, and it's well, I mean, it's not. No, okay, no, it's not good. Well, there's not. I would say there hasn't been any good parts of British history after King Arthur died, actually. Okay, fair enough. Okay, things aren't going well over there. You either have their age of what is it? Colonizing, or you have, okay, we stopped colonizing, but now we just oppress our own citizens. So it's one or the other. They always gotta, the British government's always gotta oppress somebody, apparently. So if she can stop being a servant and just live a normal life.
それは不可能だ。死者は蘇らない。
Oh.
いかに時間に止まっていようと、私たちにとってセーバーは死んだものだ。
Oh boy.
彼女を現世に呼び出しているのは聖杯の力であり、彼女が英霊になる交換条件を飲んだからだろう。聖杯を求めない彼女はサーバントとして召喚されることはない。そして聖杯を求める以上、遅かれ早かれ彼女は完全なサーバントになるだろう。たとえ今回が失敗に終わっても、彼女にはチャンスなど無限にある。セイバーは未だ時間軸にとどまっているため、聖杯を手に入れる機会を同時に行えるというわけでもないし、一度失敗した試練をやり直すということもできない。一度失敗した試練は何度やり直そうと失敗する。結果を体験しているからといって決定した結果は変えられないからな。
Okay.
だがそれでも聖杯を手に入れるのは時間の問題だろう。聖杯を手に入れる機会はこの聖杯戦争だけではない。聖杯に関する試練はあらゆる時代に存在する。その全てをしらみつぶしに続けていけば、いずれ聖杯は手に入れられる。そもそも彼女は結果として聖杯を手に入れるからこそ 英霊として召喚されているのだ。お前のセーバーをサーバントでなくす方法など、あれがお前の前に現れた時点で存在しまいよ。
I knew it. As long as Saber seeks the Holy Grail, there's no way she can avoid becoming a servant. She will stay like this forever unless she decides to use the Holy Grail for herself. Even if this Holy Grail war ends and there's no need to fight anymore, if she doesn't obtain the Holy Grail, she just has to try again next time. The moment she obtains it, she turns into this so-called heroic spirit and is sent all across time. So whether she obtains the Holy Grail or not, she'll remain a servant forever?
いや、そうとは限らんだろう。聖杯が本当に万能の杯であるのなら、セーバーを救うことはできる。
Eh? But you just said that was impossible.
なあ、セーバーをサーバントでなくすのは不可能だ。だがお前が望んでいるのは、セーバーを人としてこの世に留まらせることだろう。ならば、そう難しいことではない。聖杯戦争が終わった後、サーバントを人として生かすこともできる。もっとも、死んでしまえば死の直前にいる彼女に戻ることになるが。
That is an interesting thing. How do I do that?
英霊とサーバントは似て非なるものということだ。通常英霊として召喚される者には意志などない。連中はただ目的を果たすためだけの道具として召喚され消え去っていく。だがサーバントは別だ。あれは聖杯によって呼び出された本体だからな。それならば世界に留めておくだけで人として生きていこう。
Can you do something like that? Saber said that the Holy Grail disappeared the moment it was destroyed last time. Without the Holy Grail, I thought servants can't stay.
無論だ。サーバントを呼び出すのは聖杯であり、その後に彼らを維持させるのがマスターの役割だ。だがそれも聖杯がマスターの後押しをしているからでね。本来魔術師一人程度の魔力ではサーバントを維持できない。聖杯という強大な魔力提供源がなければサーバントは消えてしまう。
I figured then.
いや、足りないのなら補えばいいだけの話だろう。サーバントにとって魔力提供など代償行為に過ぎない。連中の本質は魂食いだ。存在濃度が薄れ始めたのなら他人の魂で補充すればよい。
Is he telling me to attack random people just like Shinji did? Hell, I can't let her do that. Anyway, Saber wouldn't want to remain here if that's what she had to do it.
そうか。ならば、あとは聖杯の中身を使うしかあるまい。簡単な話だ。お前が真実セーバーを人として生かしたいのなら、
He must have anticipated my
セー
resistance.
バーに飲ませればいい。
The look on his face tells me that this is the conclusion he wanted me to reach this whole time. Are you telling me to grant my wish using the Holy Grail?
いや、それはお前の願いとは関係がない。聖杯の中身はそういうものだ。リンから聞かなかったか。サーバントは杯に満ちた水を飲むことによって現世で2度目の生を授けられるのだと。もっともそれはこの時代の使い魔として立場を確立したに過ぎぬがな。肉体は依然サーバントのままだが、マスターさえ存命ならばこの世界にとどまれるようになる。
That means there's no solution. Even if she were able to stay in this world, it would be pointless if she's still a servant. She wouldn't be able to exist without magical energy from her master, and even if she managed to live in this world for a long time, she'd just go back to that hill after her death. Saber would never agree to such a thing. She doesn't care about a second life. She insists she's going to use the Holy Grail for something else. But then again, does the Holy Grail, the key to all this, even still exist in this world? I've heard enough. Basically, you're telling me to get the Holy Grail, but does the Holy Grail even exist? If my old man destroyed it, wouldn't it?
もう何かね。
Holy Grail doesn't exist, and there's no reason to fight. This ridiculous fight to the death is pointless.
戦う理由はないか。何を今さら。もとより君に理由などない。
He says that, and time seems to just stop. There's no reason to fight. He told me that before. I just become a master, and I didn't have much of a reason to fight. So at the time, what he said didn't sink in. I just ignored him, thinking he was being sarcastic. But what about now? There's a reason for me to fight. If there's a Holy Grail, I want to end this war, and if it's possible, I want to give the Grail to Saber. There is a reason for me to fight, and a perfectly good one at that. But why? Why do those simple words make me shake so much I feel like I'm about to vomit up everything I've held in for so long?
まあよかろう。今はエミやシローの傷を切開する時ではない。
Voice shatters the stillness that had locked up my thoughts. It's the voice of a man I don't want to hear. That voice at least settles the wave of nausea I feel creeping up on me.
聖杯はある。もとより聖杯は受け皿に過ぎぬからな。なくなれば、用意した者が新しい聖杯を用意する。
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier about yeah, I remember these chairs in like episode like 18 or something, or no, maybe it was more like episode 13 or 14 actually. Yes, I remember. Someone will prepare another one. Is a Holy Grail easy to make?
器を作るだけならばな。無論、相応の技術が必要となってくるが、もとよりその技術なくして聖杯戦争は成り立たなかった。もともと、聖杯とは神の血を受け継いだ杯ではなく、古より伝わる魔法の鎌が原型なのだ。お前も魔術師の端くれならば知っていよう。ユートピア、ギリシャ語でたどり着けない場所という意味を持つそこには、願いを叶える万能の鎌があるとされた。このあらゆる神話の根底にある万能の鎌を再現しようとした魔術師たちがいた。それがアインツベルム、マキリ、遠坂の三家だ。連中は何代かにわたって万能の鎌を再現する儀式を模索し、200年前にそれを完成させた。それが一度目の聖杯戦争。人工物に過ぎない聖杯に万能の鎌を降霊させ、道を開こうとした儀式だった。
Ainsburn, is that Ilya's family?
そうだ。アインツベルンはラインの黄金とやらの伝承に長けていてな。こと、聖杯の模造品を作る技術は神業だった。だが、それだけでは聖杯を呼び出すことはできん。
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting to call it a pot, yeah. It's a tiny pot.
ふさわしい土地と強力な呪縛が必要となる。それらを提供したのが遠坂とマキリだ。当時、教会と魔術協会は係争の真っ最中だったから。
What?
儀式には教会の目が届かない極東の地が選ばれた。
The Church and Mages Association were in the middle of a war during 1790-ish or 1805-ish. I don't know about that.
アインツベルンはそれを見越して遠坂を仲間に引き入れたのだろう。遠坂はここ一帯の霊地の持ち主であり、その死は高霊術の対価だった。アインツベルンとしては遠坂なくして聖杯召喚は不可能だった。
Why are they saying Tosakas were skilled necromancers? This is news to me. If anything, I would think that the Matos would be necromancers.
だが、二つの家だけでは容易に裏切
They
りが
always
起きてしまう。
betray each other.
ことは三すくみにすべきだと考えたのか。遠坂はマキリの家系にもこの話を持ち込んだ。マキリも長い年月を持つ名門でな。こと使い魔に関しては優れた技法を持っていた。サーバントを縛る霊樹を作り上げたのもマキリだ。
I am shocked that we're getting this info now, since I would have assumed that this would have been late Heaven's Feel lore. Yeah, it's really the Tosakas being even vaguely necromancer related just seems bizarre. That doesn't like. I have read that apparently the jewels are a new thing in their family, but there's still no reason to believe that. I mean, necromancy is not looked. It's looked down upon, I think, from if I remember things from correctly from case files of Almaloy.
そうして連中は聖杯召喚に一致団結したわけだが、いざ成功してみれば残ったのは潰し合い。
Maybe they meant that Tosakas were good at summoning. Because it's supposed to be all related to the summoning system. So, like, yeah, maybe they were good at summoning. That would at least make more sense. Because you'd have to be pretty talented to summon like specific things and all that. But yeah, the moment they succeeded to fight to the death broke out.
一度目の聖杯の降霊は連中が戦っている間に終わってしまったらしいな。
A little deceptive, since I do know what happened right when they started the ritual, but okay, I get it well enough.
そうして代を重ね、聖杯戦争というルールを作り、形だけは元の協力関係に戻った。遠坂はこの土地とサーバントを形作るシステムを提供し、マキリはサーバントを縛る霊樹を提供した。そしてアインツベルンは聖杯が宿る器を用意する。それらが彼らの敷いた協力関係というわけだ。
I'm not sure what's so amusing about this, but the priest seems to enjoy telling me about it. But I see, they say the Holy Grail War is a ritual, but I didn't know Ilya and Tosaka's families were the ones who created the whole thing.
聖杯を用意したのはアインツベルンだからな。前回キリツグに裏切られた彼らは最強の切り札を投入してきた。おそらくアインツベルンの娘が聖杯を持っているのだろう。
Yeah, I wonder what they mean by trump card. Huh? Ilya holds the Holy Grail. That's weird. I don't think I saw anything among her belongings that looked like the Holy Grail.
さて、これで気は済んだか。お前が何を悩むのかは私には知り得ない。 だが解決する手段は聖杯のみだ。それが分かったのなら早々に帰るがいい。戦いはまだ終わっていない。セーバーもつけずに出歩くのは正気の沙汰ではないぞ。
That's none of your business. I'm aware Lancer's master is still around. Hold on. There's one more thing I need to ask. Kodamine, servants disappear once the Holy Grail disappears. That's what you said, right?
言ったが何か問題でも。
Yeah, big time. I don't know who it was, but there was an ace servant. According to Saber, he's been in this world since the previous war. I can see he's shocked. Kodamine's eyes go wide. What's going on, Kodamine? I came here thinking you might know something about this.
消えなかったサーバントがいるということだな。そう不思議ではあるまい。前回の戦いはセーバーが聖杯を破壊することで終わったのだ。つまりセーバーの他にもう一人サーバントは残っていた。セイバーは潔く消えたが、そのサーバントが限界することを望んだのなら話はたやすい。それは魂を食らうことで魔力を補い、この10年間生き続けたのだろう。
That's impossible. That servant was frighteningly powerful. If someone like that hung around for 10 years, someone like you or my old man would have detected them.
分かっている。おそらくかくまっている者がいたのだろう。そのサーバントのマスターか、もしくは
Or what?
聖杯戦争を知りながらマスターの資格を持ち得なかった魔術師だ。そういった人物には一人心当たりがあるのだが、それもないな。マキリのご老体はとうに隠居している。
Not Makiri, not Mato, Makiri. He's long since retired. Yeah, sure. Kodamine must be satisfied as he gets up from the sofa.
話はここまでだ。今の話を聞いては監督役として放ってはおけん。そのサーバントに関しては私が調べよう。お前は残るランサーとの戦いに専念するがいい。
Kodamine heads to the exit, indicating that there is nothing else to discuss. There's definitely nothing more to be gained by staying here. Follow Kodamine out of the dark stone room. From there, he leads me to the entrance in silence. I am wondering about the events that are going to happen here. I leave the church, and behind
聖
me,
杯を手に入れればセーバーは死ぬ。その意味が分かっているのだろうな、エミヤシロ。
the priest puts that to me, maybe to make certain I remember. He watches me from the door with a condescending twist to his lip. Saber will die if she obtains the Holy Grail. I don't need anyone to remind me of that. Saber's goal is to obtain the Holy Grail only, but she doesn't want its power for herself. And as long as she obtains the Holy Grail, nothing will bind Saber anymore. She will be freed from going back to the point right before her death, and she will truly die. Why the sudden change of heart? You're not one to give warnings like that.
何
What? How? Why would you
お
know?
前
You've
が
only
セ
had
ー
two
バーに肩
conversations.
入れしている様は喜ばしいのでな。私なりの行為として忠告しているのだよ。
What a good guy.
聖杯を手に入れてしまえばセーバーは消える。彼女と共にいたいのならば聖杯は諦めるべきだろうと。
If you wish to be with her, you should give up the Holy Grail. That doesn't make sense. I can't keep Saber here without the Holy Grail.
聖杯に頼ることはあるまい。先ほどのサーバントの話もある。セーバーを存命させたいのなら、魂を与え続ければいいだけではないか。
Screw you. I won't allow that. I glare at the priest.
そうか。それは残念だ。
My glare has no effect on him. He just laughs in amusement.
ならば、聖杯の中身に期待するしかないな。お前のサーバントが望まないにしても、レイジを一つ残しておけばそれでいい。お前の望みは
He's saying,
それでか
it doesn't matter if Saber doesn't want it. If I'm her master, I just need to force her to drink from the Holy Grail using the power of the command spell.
おや、失言だったか。そう睨むな。あくまで今のは忠告に過ぎん。セイバーの意志を尊重するのもよかろう。彼女の人生だ。我々が口を出す権利はない。例のサーバントに関しては明日中に調べ上げよう。気が向いたのならもう一度訪れるがいい。
Church doors close. I glance up at the towering church before I turn to leave. Cross the bridge at night. This is the path I once walked with Saber. I was just looking at the scenery, not thinking about anything at the time.
聖杯を手に入れればセーバーは死ぬ。その意味が分かっているのだろうな、エミヤシロ。
I know. I don't need him to tell me that, but why is everything so complicated? Saber shouldn't obtain the Holy Grail, but the only thing that can save her is the Holy Grail.
彼女と共にいたいのならば聖杯は諦めるべきだろう。それでも存命させたいのなら彼女に魂を与え続ければいい。
I can't do that, and even if I asked her to do it, she would refuse. She would choose to disappear if that were the alternative. She will disappear, and then she'll have to do another Holy Grail war all over again.
ならばレイジを一つ残しておけばそれでいい。お前の望みはそれで叶う。
Ah, shut up. Kodamina's words are poison. I can't get rid of them. In a rage, I smash my fists against a nearby railing, desperately hoping to clear my mind. Hear an echoing, metallic clang. There's no other sound. Not so much as a car or another person passing by. Damn, why am I getting all worked up? Leaning against the rail, grumbling to myself. I know I should just ignore Kodamine. But there's just some sort of power to his words. I can't ignore them. What do I want to do and what am I fighting for? In the beginning, it was stopping the Holy Grail War, but when did that become secondary? Did it happen when I started to stubbornly fight on my own? Did it happen when I realized how helpless I am and started to cooperate with Saber? Or did it happen when I made a sword for her, after our souls entwined that night in the ruins? No, that's all nonsense. I don't need to think about it. Since the beginning, my mind's been made up since I met her in the shed, sight of her illuminated by the moonlight. That would have been fine, had I not shared that dream of her past, and so not known any better. It would have been over without me even noticing. But I did find out. I knew I couldn't leave her alone, and I started to hope I could somehow not lose her. I wish to stay this way. I want to keep seeing her smile. Ow, the image of the girl watching the sunset, alone on that hill, strewn with swords. My chest hurts whenever I think of that scene. She never took any time for herself. That always bothered me. Kiritsugu always said not to make a girl cry. I much prefer her smiling face to her tears. That's why I was so angry Saber never smiled. But then, when I told her to smile, she always replied that she would rather see me smile. That's like looking at an unreachable star through a telescope. Damn. I look up at the night sky, stare up at the star I could never reach. The trickle. I don't know how it formed, but I feel a tear slide down my cheek. I love her. I say it to nobody. As dense as I may be, I have to at least admit how I feel. I can't stop this feeling anymore. I realize I've fallen in love with her so much so that thinking about her can bring me to tears. I hear Tosaka's voice as I arrive. She's standing at the entrance. Tosaka, why are you?
玄関で立ち話もなんでしょ
Oh no.
疲れてるみたいだし、こっち来なさいよ。
I don't want to talk more. I just want the day to end. She grabs my hand and without waiting for my reply, drags me down the hall. And she brings me to her room.
はい、お茶。外寒かったでしょ
She's awkward about it, but she's being considerate. Yeah, thanks. Honestly, the hot tea is comforting. Took me a good hour to walk home from the neighboring town. I walked slowly, so I was cold to the bone.
で、綺麗なとこに行ってたの
As usual, she doesn't beat around the bush. I get it. Tosaka must have known what I was going to do from the very beginning. But she didn't stop me. She just waited for me to come home. Now she's even made me tea. I feel like a new man now that my mind is made up, and I appreciate Tosaka's thoughtfulness. Which is probably why I say, yeah, I went. There was something I wanted to ask him about. I don't hide anything. I'm honest with her.
そっか。じゃあ何をしてきたかは聞かない。シロもそれでいいでしょ
Yeah, it wasn't a fruitful conversation anyway. I just wanted to check with him about the current situation.
そうでも驚いたな。セイバーがまだサーバントになりきってないだなんて。最強のサーバントがその実一番半端なサーバントだったなんて悪い冗談じゃない。
It just occurred to me, so they're making a big deal about her being not a real servant, that she's just a person, really, mostly. The bigger interesting thing about that is that normally when you're made a servant, your personality is influenced by whichever class that you end up in. But in Saber's situation, she just is herself. She isn't a split off, altered version of herself. It's just kind of weird though, because like the more servants you see, the more it feels like this is a full person. This isn't like part of a personality. Like this feels like this would be the entire person. But it depends on the servant, because like Castor, okay, she was only ever going to be Castor. That is her personality. That's who she is. This isn't like a bad interpretation of her character. But Hercules, that's just wrong. But like, again, like, yeah. Obviously, when she gets summoned as a Lancer, her personality gets changed. But like, she doesn't have, you know, she isn't a servant, so her psyche isn't being split into being more younger or more wise or something, depending on her class. She's just herself, you know, in this. But yeah, well, right now, well, and that's the thing, because right now she can't be a Lancer because, again, she's not a servant, so she can't be multiple classes. Right now, she is just her reincarnated self, which fits for the Saber class just fine. Well, but that's the funny thing, though, because technically, when she died at Camlin, it's confusing. So she killed Mordred with the lance. But then she has to tell Bedivere to return her sword to the lake. So she did have the sword on her during the fight, but for some reason she used the lance. So that's kind of a funny little detail there. Yeah, and Saber didn't have to end up as a servant. She nods in agreement.
意外ね。シロと会っちゃもしかしたら気があったのかもしれないな。あいつもね、シロと同じこと言ってたから。
Yeah, this is probably what Archer said. Eh, Archer? You mean your Archer?
そう、あーちゃんも言ってたわ。自分は後悔してるからセイバーにはそうなってほしくないって。
Huh? Why would he be so worried about Saber? I thought he hated Saber.
そうなんだけどね。やっぱりさ、あいつってセイバーにゆかりの騎士だったんじゃないかな。初めてセイバーと戦った時、あいつ明らかに手を抜いてたでしょ。あの時から怪しいと思ってたんだ。
Oh, really? But Saber said she didn't recognize Archer.
そうなの？けどセイバーは王様だったんでしょ。なら国民を全て把握していたわけでもないし、忘れてることだってあるんじゃない？
You know, if you go that route, the possibilities are endless. If you can't remember someone's face, that's as good as you not knowing them.
そうでもないわよ。伝説だとさ、アーサー王の進化には運が悪くてキャメロットを追われた騎士も多いでしょ。あいつその一人だったのかもしれないわ。
Yeah, I mean, Archer being dead in this route is pretty clear just because, like, you can believe when Ilya says that somebody's dead or gone or whatever. Like, she doesn't make those type of mistakes like a lot of other people do.
あいつが正体を隠していたのは私にじゃなくてセイバーに対してだったって言うんなら割と納得がいくんだけど。
That's a pretty funny little mention there. Tosaka's unusually chatty tonight. It's probably her way of trying to be considerate. Maybe not particularly effective, but Tosaka is a good person. She's usually pretty relentless, but she still lends a helping hand. She's got kind of a big sister thing going on. We drink tea for a few minutes. Tosaka turns and looks straight at me. Guess she's run out of patience.
で、あなたはどうしたいの、シロ？
I'm going to take her on a date tomorrow. Oh, so here's the funny thing. I remember the date happening earlier in the series, like way earlier. And then at the very end of the date, Gilgamesh shows up. I guess it'll happen here on the next day. But then it makes me confused about where the story's going after the next day, with there being so few things left in the story. Like, we're doing the date almost right before the final day, probably. There's probably only 2 days left, I assume. Yeah, I'm talking about the Dean anime, yeah. Like, I thought that they dated on, like, episode 13 or 14. I've been mentioning that quite a lot in today's stream just because there are a lot of differences. A lot of different, like, maybe I have to rewatch the Dean anime, but from what I remember, Castor didn't die that way. Like, I could have sworn that she was still around during the final battle. And for sure, Gilgamesh didn't, from what I remember, Gilgamesh didn't show up at Shiro's house ever. Again, I'll have to look at it again. Exactly. Yeah, like, I didn't completely understand it until seeing a lot of the things happening in this stream today, because yeah, there is like a lot of things where I'm like, wait a second, yeah, that's where like some of the Unlimited Blade Works parts come in. You know, like I have mentioned already that you actually see Archer's fight in the anime, whereas here it was off screen. And I thought Castor stayed alive way longer from what I remember. I thought. I'm still remembering when they fought Archer on like the riverbank, but maybe that's going to happen in the next day. Yeah, it's like a Dean route. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's really weird because like because of the way I watched it was I watched the Dean route and then I watched the movie for Unlimited Blade Works, and then a few years later I watched the Unlimited Blade Works anime, and I was like, aren't these basically all the same route? Because they reused so many ideas from the Unlimited Blade Works route that I didn't have a clear picture of what even is the Fate route. And now here we have like, because here's the thing, in the Dean anime there is a fight with Assassin, but as of right now I'm pretty sure there won't be any Assassin fight because Castor's dead, and she said that Assassin was dead, which would imply that there was a lot more mysteries in the original Fate route, whereas in the Dean route they were like, we're going to try to show as many of the servants as possible. You know, they didn't want to be like, oh, we didn't get to show this or that servant. Oh, well, that would be lame, you know? So they're like, okay, in the original Fate route in the visual novel, we don't see anything about Archer really. We don't see anything about. We barely see anything about Castor. We barely see anything about Assassin. So they were like, oh well, we're gonna tweak some stuff so that you do see a couple things that all three of them will do. But yeah, that's why I'm like kind of trying to remember. It's like, what's Gilgamesh gonna do at the end of this route? I don't know, because like I thought I remember Castor fighting Saber at the end of this route, and then Gilgamesh shows up at the end. But right now, it seems like that won't be the case. Like they've made it pretty clear that Castor is dead. I just kind of still feel like it's hard to believe that she died. She was introduced and died all in one night. It's like, what the heck? That's so crazy. I can't think of anything else that's spur of the moment idea I came up with on my walk back home. But then I don't know where the somber mood from earlier went, because Tosaka makes the most bizarre face. She bursts out into uncontrollable laughter. Damn, I'm so dumb. I should have seen this coming. Shut up. What's wrong with me being selfish? I know this is not the time for it, but I'm not going to let you get in our way. Tosaka slaps my back hard. She holds her stomach with her other hand, laughing so hard now she's nearly in tears. I think this is the worst she's ever treated me. Well, I'm happy for you. None of that was funny to me. Tosaka says that kindly, doing a complete about face from a second ago. Yeah, I'll try my best. Honestly, that came out of left field. When she says it like that, all I can do is nod. I have no idea what that was. I don't know why she laughed. I feel just like Shiro. Like, what? Okay, whatever. I go back to my room. Saber is still asleep and the house is peaceful, as if there is nothing happening. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to just call her a mean girl, but it's just so weird. It still feels so random. I don't know. She's just like, ha ha ha, romance, so funny. And it's like, okay. Cool. All right. It's just like, it rained today, but what about tomorrow? I looked up at the clouds slowly passing overhead. Unlike me as it is, I pray for a sunny day tomorrow. Okay. 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 So that's the end of the stream today. I cannot believe this day had 3.5 more hours after the end of my last stream. Because like my last stream was let me see. My last stream was mostly my last stream was also 3 hours. With like 1 hour being the previous night. So this one day, day 13, apparently was like 5 hours long, even though it was mostly, I mean, there was like a good hour of caster fight, then Urcher shows up. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. But then they did have the reveals about everything with Shiro's backstory and the events of Fate Zero. So yeah, I guess we did go way more into detail than I was thinking originally. I thought mages do go on dates, but yeah, I don't know. You know, now that you mention it, I'm not sure. Yeah, but Shiro's never taken the Grail War that seriously. So it's like, oh, you know, what kind of person would do that? But you know, yeah, February 14th. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, they're gonna go on a date on Valentine's Day. That is a bizarre coincidence, isn't it? Huh. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching. It seems like there's a lot more of the story left, though. I thought, like, well, maybe there's only 1 day left, but no. Now it feels like there's at least 2 days left. There's gonna be all this day, and then another day. Yeah, I'll have to prepare for these streams to each be like 4 hours long minimum, I assume. Something like that. We'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for watching. And see you for the next stream, I suppose.